Paul, are you on here?
Paul's always on here. It's your fault, Paul.
I am, but I'm just talking about that. Z equals Z squared plus C.
Sorry, guys. It's like I've sort of So my life is literally in, and then this is a difficult position for me. I live my life in different parallel universes that I switch between without choice, literally. So, Paul, are you on this Sussex channel?
Yeah, I can hear you and Lucas. I'm here on SDRL.
Okay. Thank you, Paul. So, guys, I'm going to take a step back into the conversation. I don't want to hog this at all. Not in any way, but I have this very, very, very difficult position that I live. I'm currently writing a book. Well, it's not under duress, actually. It's not under duress, but I'm writing a book with someone who I've done. Anyway, DMT thing. Anyway, I'll sit on the side. I want to. So, yeah, I'll sit on the side.
Does that mean I have to sit down now?
Z equals Z squared plus C. Look at it.
Well, first of all, you can't square Z.
No, okay. No, it's not equals. Sorry. So I'm gonna go for the conversation. In fact, Paul Griffiths. At what point? Paul, why are you on here? In fact, actually, why am I allowed back on it? So, I've got a lot going on. So my father, my dad, is very ill in hospital. I don't want to necessarily put that out there, but he is very ill. My father, my dad is very ill in hospital. I have this enormous situation going on with. I can't quite quantify it, but I've got loads of people coming at me with things, all sorts of things, Cobra workshops and radios, and I have a very high load of people, all sorts of people, people from news and conspiracy theory websites and the CIA. I have this connection with government agencies. I have this huge tsunami wave of people coming at me for information, and I have to output my knowledge. Now, people on this channel probably have no idea what I'm talking about, what I mean, and I don't want anyone on here to take any inference. I don't want anyone to take any inference of my position. That would be the last thing I want anyone to do. But I feel Paul Griffiths, specifically Paul, because Paul who's on it. In fact, thank you, Paul. You've given me a position of solace at this time in my life, Paul. I don't want to break down here. I'm very, very weak at this point. Wow. I'm under a lot of strain and stress from a number of different inputs. Absolutely. In fact, I'm not quite sure why I'm allowed back on Sussex Town's channel, even though I've got a mug from Bly and the windmill and everything, but which is very nice, actually, I will say. I appreciate that. But I'm under a significant amount of stress and otherwise. Anyway, let me take a break from him because let me take a break.
Well, sorry to hear that, Alex. But your dad's ill. It comes close to home, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't know if he's got the virus or what. But to err is human. To forgive is divine.
I hope that I get better.
You know, when I get really stressed, I usually go to the backyard, find me a chicken, stuff it into a bag, wave it over my head and scream like a chicken. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it works for me.
Put death metal on full blast.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's very kind of you to, chip up with your, your inoculation inputs. Paul, thank you. And the other guy, I'm going through a very. So, to tell you about me, I'm 48 years old, nearly 49 years old. I'm a March Aryan. My birthday is on the 22nd of March. So I've had, to try, I rode the Bitcoin wave. So I was like a welfare recipient, I had nothing. I was practically living on the streets. I had nothing. I didn't have an opinion, or a window to throw it out of. I had fucking nothing. I had nothing. And somebody said, invest in Bitcoin. And I did that back in the day. I did that. And, I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. And this part of my story people don't believe. I had nothing. Zero. It's very hard for me to sort of, project or, kind of make this story what it is. So I invested £500 or $500, which I borrowed from people. I invested $500, which I absolutely had to fucking borrow scrimping. So I got $500, and I invested that in Bitcoin. And everyone, even the people, apparently I borrowed it from them. Everybody. Everyone said it. So this is very. Everybody said, what the fuck, dude? Why are you buying this money? It's very difficult. And so Bitcoin at the time was 49 cents. 49 cents or 49 pence a Bitcoin. And I borrowed $500 to buy Bitcoin. You will not believe the amount of subjugation, the amount of belittling, the amount of anti-me. You've got nothing. Why the fuck are you buying? Why are you doing this with nothing? You spend this money you buy with your parents. You know, the amount of people, honestly, the amount of trolls, the amount of
stuck in the streets, ducking police. You make it to see 21, my nigga.
The amount of people.
Serving J's in the street. Brand new J's on my
I need a moment.
Told my niggas, let's eat and let them broke niggas beat.
Anyway, the amount of people that said, why the fuck are you buying this money? You know, everybody hates me.
Respect is a must. Live and die by the code. Might gotta carry the load. A real nigga
So I borrowed $500 to buy 1,000 Bitcoin. The amount, you know, it's like saying, you know, I'm quite sure. Sorry, let me just compose myself. Give me a moment, Paul. And Paul Griffiths, Paul.
Cameras round the house, I barely trust my neighbors. When my pops bust the locks, he owed a couple favors. Know the real
Paul,
real paper chase.
Paul, I've been on other channels over the last few years. You know, sorry, just give me a moment. Okay. Right, so, Paul Griffiths, are you on there? Anyway, so, you know, your name's come up a lot of times, Paul, actually. You know, not on my channel or anything, but on some of these fucking social media platforms, you know, like Twitter or something. And there was a social media platform that, you know, you had this whole group of people that were hating on you. And I was like, where the fuck? Excuse me. Where did this come from? It's like, oh, he's been done for this, so he's growing marijuana. And I was like, hold on. So, anyway, Paul, let me take a step back. Let me get back a little bit here. There was some social media platforms, and I know perhaps one of the people that was, you know, doing this, and they were recording me and you, our channel, and this guy is in Kidderminster in the West Midlands, recording this and putting it out on social media, actually trawling it fucking massively around the world. And so, did you know that I had 25,000 followers? I had 25,000 followers. And Paul, you had about the same, about 26,000 followers. When we were discussing your situation with the police, and you know, I'm not going to go into it on here, but you had some issues, right, Paul? But there was some sneaky little shitbag snitch, fucking some little arsehole, some little piece of shit that was recording all of our conversations on here on Zello, posting it on some social media platform. And so I didn't know, I was very famous, and so were you.
You're allowed to be on these public channels, but it's doing it bad. But I mean, never say all bad. All I talk about is mathematics and
I got money, I don't care who you love it. I'm for good girls that don't even be cussing. She just want me cause she see that I'm buzzing.
No, it was around the time that you were, you got arrested. And I got arrested.
You don't carry nothing. Based from old age, I'm feeling like stunting. Make the clip go inside the function. Your turn is coming right now. Yeah, you won't do nothing yourself. Yeah, Virgin my sweater say off. Yeah, I never settle for loss. Yeah, I am aware of your flaws. Bloody the mess like it's jaws. Yeah, leave your feelings in the clouds.
So you got arrested just for talking on the internet? Who are you, Martin Luther King?
Okay, Lucas, no. So, Paul and me got arrested at different times, different things. I can only imagine there is this whole fucking host of stuff on the internet about Paul Griffiths and me. Anyway, Paul. In fact, I'm talking. Come to my channel, but maybe we don't need to go to my channel. In fact, why the fuck am I on this channel? How have I been allowed to? Because everyone hates me on here. Oh, they do it? Do they? I've got a mug that every morning, Paul. I have a very beautiful cup of coffee out every single day for the last, I don't know. I have a very nice cup of coffee out of my Sussex Downs cup of coffee, and I don't even put it in the dishwasher. It's very gently hand washed.
I have at least 4 liters of freeway cola per day.
Anyway, I'm not quite sure why I'm on here talking about this. I'm not quite sure. I presume there are people on this channel that want to hear what I've got to say. And maybe it just runs out now. You know, the tape runs out, like the Illuminati card. You know, the tape runs dry or something.
No, this is a good channel. Tell us what you know about the Mandelbrot set. If you've got that in your picture, that's the equation to make it. I can understand it, I can't vocalise it.
Paul, it's there. It's there. I can't elaborate on it. I can't expand on it. I can't add to it. It's there. I can explain it in further detail, and that is Z iterative, which is like roundabout. It's less like a circle, an infinite circle, an infinite roundabout. So Z. It actually is not Z. It's pi. So Z or pi. Iterative and iterative. You know, this backward and forward circle. It's a practically immersive, never-ending. It literally is. It literally is never-ending. Iterative. And at this point, I actually stop. At this point, I can't go further with the rest of the equation. At what point do you have an iterative, never-ending fractal equation? So, you know, I do speak to people. You know, there's some customers of mine that are pretty clued up. You know, they're on the ball, they're okay, but they're not, and they come to me and say, Alex, no, nobody ever calls me Alexander, which is my real name, but hey, Alex, tell me about this. Tell me about your tattoo. Tell me about this. And I get asked all the time, Paul. All the time. You know, Mr. Griffiths. Actually, I've got to say, Paul, you know, without doubt, you are, without doubt, one of the most impressively important, deep persons I've ever spoken to on Zello. Actually, not on Zello, but in my entire life, Paul.
What? Yeah. No, Alex, your formula makes a lot of sense. The only problem is you're at the different point of the peak of the mountain. In order for us to go from an amplitude modulation, which is AM, and then we progressed into FM, they're both narrow channel devices, and you cannot implement very large frequencies. As you know, we have G5 and 5G, and now they're getting ready to come out with 6G. Well, guess what, Alex? 6G is going to use a fractal formula.
Paul,
Go ahead, Paul. Over.
I'm thinking about the fractals.
Yeah, well, you see, it's really quite simple, Paul. I know a lot of people start throwing coffee cans at me. You know, you take a rope, you throw it up and down. That's an analog signal. And it's very narrow band. 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 20 megahertz at the most. But television is quite, the band is pretty wide, 4.5 megahertz. But in order for us to go higher and higher in frequency, in order to get qualities at 8K, 20K, 30K, the signal has to be transmitted in a fractal. Oh, look. Crops in the field. What do you know? They're fractals.
Yeah, so there'll be like one main fractal that we all have fractal.
Yeah, and if you know anything about fractals, you know that a fractal is an alive, living thing. And if it's linear, it's dead.
I was thinking in 1,000 years if we get proper next level people that can invent miniature sand particle sized drones with cameras on. Like you can buy in the shop a little pack with like 10,000 miniature drones. And you just sprinkle the dust on something and then you log on with your QR code or something on phone, and you can like control the sand-sized robot and like see through their eyes and stuff to be.
You're talking about nanites? Microscopic miniature computers, so thousands and thousands of times smaller than a hair, that can get into your bloodstream and affect the way you're thinking? Wouldn't that be scary?
Yeah, always like Bluetooth built in so you can use the phone to control them and stuff. Or you can have them like keyboard. You can control them like a thinking of all the different environments you could sprinkle in it.
A microscopic virus that you can control and mutate at will without even being next to it. Just transmit a radio frequency through the ionosphere. The microscopic organism could receive that signal and mutate as many times as it receives the signal.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out because it makes sense if you have one of them. But it'd be really difficult to like put one in a packet. Well, one grain of sand, you can probably see in a little packet. Grain of sand is quite big actually. Really a lot smaller than that.
Oh yes, a virus is smaller than a grain of sand.
Not a virus. It can be just a small thing that most of the gravity probably has legs. If you want to be flying on them, try and be flying on them, because they won't be able to get to the time to get off the surface.
What if when they went to outer space, they accidentally got contaminated? Remember in the 70s? Yeah, they put all the astronauts in this controlled environment and the bug got out. They really don't want to tell anybody because they can't really control it.
yeah, I think it's hi Paul, and yeah, I think the problem that the problem that we have here is everything around us. You know, we live in this environment, this, you know, this world, this galaxy, this, you know, universe, which actually doesn't exist necessarily, and we're caught up with, you know, politics, and, you know, everything. But from my perspective,
yeah, there used to be a guy in here that used to talk about the flat Earth. He used to always end his conversation from his perspective, and nobody really understood what he was talking about when he was talking about flat Earth. I understood his definition at the end. From your perspective, you're right.
Well, not flat Earth. How about everything around us? How about the entire universe? Everything, people, cars, insects, grains of sand. You know, the infinity of the universe around us. You know, none of this is real. Nothing is actually real. None of this. You know, relationships, kids, people, relationships, jobs, asteroids. You know, the world. You know, the circumferences of planets around the suns and our universe. So my particular view or perspective is that none of this is real. Our entire universe is real, absolutely is real. But it doesn't actually exist. So you know, religion and everything that encompasses our religion, our universe, our gravity, our everything, it's real to us. It absolutely is real. It's 100% categorically, concretely real.
All right, Puff, you gotta tell me, like, I got
So the table in front of me, look. That table's there. The phone in front of me, made by Apple or Samsung, and the radio waves discovered by Tesla, not fucking Marconi. Fuck him. Tesla. Everything around us is real. But is it real? It's waves, and it's everything. Everything is made out of waves. It has to be waves, light waves, sound waves, you know. And so my particular perspective on life is that we live in this projected reality, which loads of people just don't get, and I'm hated a lot of times on this. It's very difficult for people that haven't had a full-blown DMT experience. I've done dimethyltryptamine. Actually, if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it. But I did do it, and I can't turn back the clock. But it gave me this enormous understanding that we are in this projected universe.
Well, what if Marconi wasn't a genius? What if he was an alien just trying to phone home?
Hang on, Marconi worked for the patent office and he stole Tesla's patents.
And behind this guy as well, apparently.
Well, they really weren't Tesla's ideals as much as he enhanced the ideals.
How about so this boils down to two very complicated perspective. Is there God and Jesus, or is there the other side of the equation, which is evolution? So is this a created universe, or is it a universe that evolves effectively? And my particular persuasion on this, my friends, is that we are in a absolutely projected, godlike projection. We're in a absolutely so what happened before the Big Bang. How did we get where we are? I've got something very interesting hypothesis here, which nobody can answer, and even you go back to atheists, or nobody can answer this. Let me run this past you, if I may. So, scientists, clever bods, speculate that the universe is 14 billion years old. 14 billion years old. Okay. From the Big Bang, the universe is 14 billion years old. Okay. But, and here is the, and this is the here we go. But the distance, the size of the universe is 40 billion years across at the speed of light. Let me run this past you again, and nobody on here tell me that you can answer this question, because nobody can. So the universe from the Big Bang is 14 billion years old. 14 billion years old at the speed of light, but the observable universe is 40 billion years across. And at that point, my friends, I put it back to you.
Yeah, just think as well how long the universe was already existing before you realised that you was in it.
No, Paul, it didn't. No. So from the Big Bang, they can, Paul, they can look at this from radiation. Anyway, so the universe is 14 billion years old, but it's 40 billion. So let me start again. The universe is 14 billion years old, but it's 40 billion years across. Explain it.
Well, it's circular. That makes sense. You gotta double the numbers.
Okay, give me your maths on that equation, dude.
I'll try to simplify it. When you see skaters in a skating rink, you've got about 8 skaters. The one in the middle moves very slow. The one in the center moves not as slow. Or actually, like super slow. And the one in the outer ring moves super fast. So, I don't know what the formula is for that, but I think it's an algorithm.
Okay, so and this is I think this is a quantum question, which I think that, do you know what? I think they're going to say we're going to get AI computers to realise that the universe is fabricated. So the universe is 14 billion. Stop it. Let's reset this. So the universe is 14 billion years old. Okay, but it's 40 billion light years. Let me tell you that. 40 billion light years across. Explain.
Well, take 40 billion and divide it into 14.
Doesn't work.
It has to work. It's a circle.
Doesn't work. Dude, it doesn't work. It can't work. And, okay, I'm not trying to hate you or belittle you, but this is the equinox, or the QED. This is the QED of the universe. So the universe, scientists say, is 14 billion years old. Okay, so help me. Actually, no. Please help me with this. So the universe is 14 billion years old, which I don't think any of us can kind of comprehend that number, but it's 14 billion years old. Okay, but the size of it is 14 billion years across. How? It can't be. Mathematically, that doesn't work.
It just means that at one time, something travelled faster than light. Or tax. Yeah, on tax. Or also, it could be because I think it's when the nucleus got inside the atom. So, the distance from the nucleus membrane walls in the original. It wasn't. It was infinitely small. It wasn't just not there, was it? Before the Big Bang.
Alex, it's quite simple. It's an algorithm in reverse, or a negative algorithm. There it is, an inverted algorithm. It starts off with 0, and then it migrates the algorithm backwards, and then that will get you to 42 billion.
Yeah, but then the math in the original, all the math in the universe added together will probably that equal to that extra.
Yeah, the math is, it can't be. Well, and then you have to take into account that this probably only applies here to this particular galaxy. Another galaxy that's faster or older would have a different computation.
Yeah, like if an astronaut landed on a meteorite and he had to live there forever, he manages to do it, he has children, all the kids piled up, make the meteorite bigger. And they get married on all the trees that they grow on the meteorite.
So I was wondering for decades why the satellites that circle around the sun were in an elliptical orbit. And then finally one day I realized the reason they're in an elliptical orbit is because that makes them move faster. If they ran in a straight line, it would be slower, and if they ran in a hyperbolic configuration, they would run slower. So they have to run in a parabolic configuration.
I don't believe that. I believe in the brain cave. The only meteorite is just a rock falling off the top of the cave, but it's such a big cave that all our hot gases rise up in the day, and they are caught in the crevices of the roof and set on fire, and we travel all across the roof every day.
Yeah, Paul's right, actually. Yeah, I believe in Paul. Yeah, dude. Interesting theory, isn't it? So, you got the Big Bang, but hang on a second. So, why is there a Big Bang? Why is there? So they're saying there is this mass ejection event, Big Bang, projecting the universe at this. Actually, it has to be, as Paul said, it has to be the universe is expanding clearly above the speed of light. It has to be But so what is the speed of light? The speed of light is 186,000 miles a second, which is the speed of time. So what is the speed of time? So the speed of time, light, our thoughts, everything. So the speed of everything is 186,000 miles per second. Can you get faster than that? What happens if you slow that down? Anyway, just saying. That's it. So our world is tempered. Our world is tempered. Our life is tempered, and we have we're rolling on this continuous sinusoidal wave of life, light, being. Even nuclear explosions, even nuclear bombs. Can they travel at that speed? Yeah. I don't think that. I think there is a way through that. I think there's a way to distort that with gravity. I think gravity. So yeah. People have called me up on my Z. Let me tell you about my Just a second. Let me take a break. Listen. Shush. 1 second. So my my picture is Z iterative Z squared plus C. So you guys may have heard of some big equations, V equals I times R, or Z equals I times C, or how about this, M equals I times, I'm so sorry. M equals I times square. You know what is Einstein's theory of relativity? M equals I times square. I think it's so mass equals the speed of light divided by mass. Yeah. Anyway, so Z iterative, and this is it was Benoit Mandelbrot. So my equation here is very unique in the fact that there's a French guy called Oymyo Mandelbrot, and then you get Mandelbrot, fractals. He discovered the fractal, which Julia had done it. I got a very famous 16th century mathematician called Julia. He using a pencil and paper, literally at what point, and there are Julia sets, but this guy fucking, he was so fucking advanced, he was so fucking clever, literally. So Julia, I think, of all people, I probably have the most respect for. He worked out the Julia set of mathematics. I mean, literally, at what point do you do that? Incredible accomplishment of a guy with a piece of paper and a pencil. He didn't have computers. He had no computers. So Mandelbrot, years later, Benoit Mandelbrot, and that is what my little my thing here is Z iterative Z squared plus C. Z iterative, which is a loop, Z squared plus C. Very simple. It's like E equals MC squared. But Z iterative Z squared plus C is the thumbprint of God, is the absolute backward engineering of the universe. And this guy, Benoit Mandelbrot, discovered it, and wow, I mean, literally, so he had one of the biggest fucking computers ever. Enormous. This computer had its own power supply, a nuclear power station to power the computer. in France, and they put these equations into it, and they had a dot make. This story's off the scale. They had a dot matrix printer, and he put Z iterative Z squared plus C. Very simple, like M equals Z squared. You know, very simple equation. Very simple equation. But this was completely different to anything that had gone before it, because it was the thumbprint of God. This was the understanding of how the universe works, how everything works. You know, he wasn't the first person to fucking realise it. You know, Julia was the first guy that actually no, I'm talking bullshit. The Egyptians, the Mayans, you know, perhaps the there were other people before, other civilizations that captured this. You know, specifically the you know, the Mesopotamians and the people from which is now modern day Syria, the Syrians, which are now under fucking massive bombardment of war, you know. So you know, these people realised math. That's why the pyramids were built, you know. I've had this discussion with people, and they say, no, the pyramids are bullshit. But hang on, why are the pyramids built in, you know, Egypt and China and South America, you know? People don't like that. Anyway, so Z iterative Z squared plus C is the thumbprint of God.
All of the characters are. Have you seen Aleph Zero?
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Yeah, I agree. But it's the iterative. It's the people say it looks like an equals. It's not an equals. It's a circle. It's a Mobius. It's a circle. You know, Z iterative. Iterative wasn't discovered. So I think the genius of man was to discover infinity. You know, we have ones and zeros, and you know, it either goes down to nothing or out to infinity. And so the iterative, the Mobius, the circle, you know, which you see everywhere in ancient Egyptian texts, everywhere else, you know, this infinity symbol, but not infinity, because the infinity symbol is cloaked, it's castigated. You can't get out of that. But this symbol of infinity is absolutely, you know, it's an epoch. It's an epoch. It is a what's the word? It is a understanding beyond all belief. Well, it is a godlike understanding. This understanding of infinity. So infinity, meaning never ending, is a godlike symbol. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I wonder when the computer will be able to like replicate the symbols.
I think they can. I think 1980, Paul, when Mandelbrot discovered this. But interestingly, so Julia had discovered the math, and then Oymyo Mandelbrot, you know, through the invention of computers, he used a supercomputer at IBM's research laboratory, which is in France, which is fucking really strange. The weirdest thing ever, right? So you got CERN, CERN, the Large Hadron Collider, which is practically in France, but over the Swiss border. Now you've got this, Doc Ock type Spider-Man thing, where they're harnessing, fucking ultimate power. They're harnessing this fucking mega amounts of power, this is effectively fusion. Now I'm a bit fucking, I'm a bit shaky on this, because it's not cold fusion, it's nuclear fusion. I'm not with this, I've got to be honest. They've done it. So they've got this, and this is so fucked. It's a spinning donut of power, which is like 127 kelvins. Or is it 128 kelvins? 166. 512 kelvins. This massive toroid, this toroid, I can't say the words right. This toroid, encased in magnets. This spinning toroid of mega power, apparently it's like 50 times the temperature of the sun. Okay. Held in place by magnets. Okay. And it produces, get ready for this, unlimited energy. Unlimited energy. What drives it? Unlimited energy. What's the source? So this spinning donut held in place by magnets that don't melt under fucking temperatures of the sun, which are billions and billions of times more hot than the sun. Okay. I do know the answers to this. I'm not necessarily going to put this out on this channel, but everyone says, afterlife, you're such a dick. Well, not necessarily. So you've got this mega power, this enormous energy, which is hundreds of times hotter than the sun. Just sitting here on Earth, held by magnets. Now, Spider-Man films, please don't get me into this. Spider-Man films, Doc Ock was able to do this with these, octopus tentacles. He was able to, harness this power. Really, but it's been around for ages. This is like some new thing they're releasing on us. Been around for a long time, but not hot. So this is hot energy. Really weird. Let me tell you how it really works. So, the news organisation that was reporting this really hot, thing that's going around. No. Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, absolutely. But they're talking total shit. This is all bullshit. It doesn't work like this. It doesn't work like this. The real way it works is ultra cold. Massively cold. So cold, so cold. So cold. Anyone around?
Yeah, I'm still on.
The Earth is round.
Oh, controversial.
Yeah, comfortable, yeah. So let me tell you what I know. Paul, sorry, just a second. Paul, I really missed you. Very much so.
Yeah, because I've still been around. I've still been reading what you've been saying on the, when I went on the channel. It kept coming online, but you was offline by the time I got there. And back pot.
I'm sorry. You know. What can I say? Paul, So I want to put. I know this channel is very monitored. There are actually recordings of me talking on Zello, on YouTube and other channels. And Paul, I don't want anybody to record this, but Paul, I really missed you. I really missed your input. Literally. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, Paul, I'm glad you're on it.
Yeah, about the thing though, I was saying the two options, because the first option was travelling at faster than the speed of light, but the second option was that when everything was infinitely small, it was infinitely small, but it was the size of what it could possibly be, you know what I mean? So that just testimony to the whole fucking universe. At one point you go tiny. That's what I was saying, but it was still that big. It was still big. And it was how it was 14 plus 28. So the actual size of it was like, what was less than
Exactly. Paul, can I yeah, Paul, can I just quote you on that? Because you're completely right, yeah, 14, yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow. Yeah, again, Paul Griffiths. Now, people have said to me, you know, don't speak to him. You know, why are you speaking to him? Because I want to, and leave me the fuck alone. You know? I don't know, Paul. Over the years we've had amazing conversations. And actually, Paul, you've given me loads of information, which I've absolutely enjoyed and taken and analysed, and you know, yeah, dude. Anyway, who the fuck are these people telling me? And this is the thing. Who are these people telling me not to talk to you? Who the fuck do you think you are? No. No. At no point are you gonna stop me talking to Paul. Jesus Christ, these fucking people. Anyway, they don't seem to realise that, you know, I've been speaking to you for years, and there's loads of things that you've invented, Paul, you know, probably not knowingly, but you have, over the years. And, yeah, so people that don't want me to speak to Paul, fuck you. Fuck you. Paul is a very intelligent man. He's my friend, and do not tell me I can't talk to him.
Even that's right, though, that it was an infinitely small sphere, 12 million light years wide before the Big Bang. Oh no, what would it have to be? Yeah, 12 months, 600
I was dope before I ever had to sell it. Bitches send me, it's not on me when it's real. You can tell it, I don't give a fuck.
Spending Omega Corona.
Purpose cell, keep the cell bars out the box. Rip a death, crack the seal, break the lock.
I think
Kill a bee, pouring up an ace, sipping
involved in gravity and stuff like
niggas tell in the wheel. You ain't bout it if you was, you wouldn't tell me the shit. If you pussy and broke, start selling the shit. Rock a nigga at a show, Van Hale in a bitch.
Yeah, I've seen that, Paul. Absolutely. I couldn't talk in it for a bit. Yeah. I'll check it out. Absolutely. Thank you for that, Paul. Yeah, cheers, dude. So I couldn't keep up in here for a bit. Apparently, I'd made too many conversations or something. So the universe is 14 billion years old, but so the universe is 14 billion. Sorry, the universe is 14 billion years old. You know, if you believe the scientists or whatever, yeah. But it's 47 billion light years across. Let me say that again. So the universe is 14 billion years old, and so light can only travel at the speed of time. So the speed of time and the speed of light is, and the speed of radio waves, actually, nothing apparently, I don't know. I actually, I'm fucking literally sort of, well, yeah, actually, I don't believe this. I don't. I'll tell you why I don't believe this on my next over. But so the galaxy, you know, our entire universe is 14 billion years old, yet it's 47 billion light years across. Hello, Bueller, anyone? And this is one of those questions that stump it. So I did hear the answer to this. Somebody gave this the answer. And this is 14 billion years old, 47 billion light years across. How? And I got this answer from, you know, some BBC or, you know, some DOD, Department of Defense. Somebody gave the answer, but the answer is total shit. It doesn't work in math. They made up this some sort of pseudo math to explain how this works. No, it doesn't work. They're talking total shit. So go to Google. Apple, go to Google. How old is the universe? 14 billion years old. How wide is the universe? 47 billion light years across. And some bright spark, you're going to say to me, well, you know, listen, I'm ready for it right now. Well, the width of the universe and the age of the universe are two different things. You know, they're not perspective. Fuck you! You're talking shit. No, I'm not going to put them down. But how can the width of the universe extend the age of the universe? Apparently it can. Apparently. So I'm going to. Apparently it is a thing. It can do that. It can. You say, well, because this side of the universe to the other, you know, the A side of the universe to B side of the universe is bigger than the B. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. So don't tell me that the universe is 14 billion years old, but the width is 47 billion years old. No, fuck you. And the debunking is very simple. E equals MC plus squared. Einstein's theory of relativity ruins this equation, but they're putting it out there right now. It's all over the fucking place. They're putting it out there like it's, oh yeah, the universe is 47 billion years across. Yeah, the universe is 14 billion years old. No, you're talking total shit.
Yeah, but like, if you are on one of them planets that are moving out of the universe and you fire a rocket, and you're moving at the speed of light on that planet, you fire a rocket off the surface away from the centre of the Big Bang, then it's from you, it will look like it's moving at the speed of light, won't it, away from you.
I don't know, Paul, tell me. You, so, dude, you are one of the cleverest guys I've ever met on Zello. So I've had like loads of people say, Alex, I want to go on your channel. No, don't come in. Loads of people say, yeah, we speak to so and so. No. So, Paul, I reserve this godlike lord type pinnacle for you, and actually I don't care what you say, whether you're right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me. What only matters to me is that you speak to me from time to time. Your input, Paul, is irrelevant. It's that you speak to me is the important factor in this position.
Yeah, I don't know, I've looked into it, and there's some things that they said can outgo the speed of light. But, there was a contest on Zello to find the thing. And we did find it, I think, but I can't remember what it was. Was it energy or dark energy or something? I can't remember what it was. Something was. It might have been love. Imagine if that was the result. You'd be well annoyed, wouldn't you, science lesson? And then love came into the equation and they all lived happily ever after.
Unrequited love. Unrequited love travels faster. That's a bit like. Anyway, so I've had loads of people hating on me and fucking every channel. So apparently we're gay, and you know, you're my love child. There's loads of hate against me, but listen, no. Paul is a pretty cool guy. He thinks fucking massively outside. Maybe not now. Maybe we're getting old. Maybe not outside the box, but nobody is going to put me against Paul. So shush, it's not working. Keep trying. Afterlife. You love Paul. Afterlife. You love Paul. You love to fuck him in the ass. I've had all these things, dude. Anyway, that's an interesting situation. I don't know, but at what point do people think that me and you are gay?
I'm just trying to say that if you look at the basic shapes, triangles, why would, when they go into the other plane, if they observe two other triangles acting as triangles like little protons or something, third one you'd be a triangular pyramid, and then for ease you'd balance out, wouldn't you? So the base would go to the bottom, the point at the top. So I think that causes gravity. Do you know what I mean? Like everywhere. So we think the floor's perfectly flat, but really it's all the atoms have gone jaggedy down to basic shapes, and all the basic shapes in order, just squares and circles and triangles just piled up on top of each other, and then everyone's got an atom opposite to them because there's an antimass of every single atom, and when the antimass of the mass atom meets the atom, it destroys it, it like obliterates it, and loads of energy is given off.
Yeah, that is definitely a plausible.
The mirror, like so in the mirror, there's a way I think to get the mirror guy to like give up or something, yeah, like to go through him out or something. And then trick him to move out the way so you can climb through. You know what I mean? Like in the reflection in the mirror.
So it's not what you see, it's your reflection.
If you move faster than light and you move through the mirror and then you pick the newspaper in the mirror world and everything's just backwards. So I mean, you find another mirror in that mirror world, go through it, move the newspaper, go back to the original mirror world. Is the newspaper in the place where you moved it to, or is it a different mirror world? If the reflection's not there, where does the guy go? When you walk, imagine if you walk through the mirror fast or shift the reflection so you could move around it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, but Paul, that's positioning that you could travel beyond the speed of light.
If you imagine a random point of the before it, there would have been dark energy everywhere around it, dark mass. So like if you travelling at the speed of light into a black hole, it's got to go faster, hasn't it? It must do.
Okay, well, you know, not necessarily. How about here, Paul? How about in our realm? What, you know, could you imagine some position, Paul, where you could, you know, fabricate a Mobius, you know, a twist in the fabric of time, you know, a Mobius where, you know, time becomes a loop, so you could somehow rig, if you could stretch, where you could like repeat, you know, a position, you know, over and over to like you know, I don't know, like say you go to the baker's or you go to somewhere and you don't like that output. Is there a way to? Do you think there's a way to iterative that you could play that again? But if not, so Paul, my question to you, how malleable, how squeegee, how Paul, could you change time here?
Probably, if you put loads of energy into it, I bet I could have right now. You'd just go forward at a normal rate. Because that stays away, isn't there? Apparently. If you go faster than the speed of light and then come back, then the time that you observe will be like less. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. No. Is it possible?
Not for me, no. It would always be about a minute. Do you know what I mean? Every time it's a minute. It'll take about a minute to do it. But to observe it, if I was sat on the moon, it would be a longer minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I do agree with you. Yeah. About a minute. I think you're right.
Could you be the one to
60 seconds. I think you're right. I think that's the amount of playtime they've got, about a minute. I mean, to be fair, Paul. To be fair, that could be the decision between something happening or not happening. But Yeah. Yeah, a minute's not long. What would be your position on stretching that minute?
I think the best way is to work really hard on something. That's what I always do, work right hard and feel like better.
Would there be a position, Paul, do you think, of stretching that time into the past? So you've got that minute. What about if there was a position, maybe, I'm not saying there is, I'm speculating, to push time backwards. So how far backward, Paul, would you think that time, are we talking years, months, minutes? If you could have time like literally shifted on your timeline, because of course we're talking about timelines here, we're talking about actual reality. You know, we are. I want to put this out there on the channel. We're talking about specific timeline inversions. Paul, if we could push a specific timeline back far enough, where would you like that to go back to? So you could, and you could have, total knowledge of the future. You could have the complete control of the, you would know the past, would have a new destiny of the future. When and what would you do different?
I would just do the live but no actually just even existing, even if I breathe out. Well, it depends if you breathe out. Apparently it's dispersal and then breath and create gravity. I don't think it's enough to affect a lot of the machines. If you only go back a week, you don't even have to go back. You can never gamble, but I wouldn't go back far because you shouldn't dwell in that because what could happen or could go on.
Yeah. So Paul, I kind of been there with you, did that, I could control what you did. Yeah. So this summer, 2022 summer, what are your plans?
No. Do you think it will happen this summer this time? Or do you think it will be winter all summer? I have no idea with the energy crisis.
Yeah, dude. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, quite possibly. Interesting.
That'd be well, wouldn't it? But I doubt it though.
Do you know, Paul? There are probably about 10,000 people, maybe 12,000 people, that listen to me, listen to you. And they're like, this guy knows nothing, what the fuck? It's like Frankie on, what the fuck that song? It's like Frankie that goes on, God, my nose is being bitches. Frankie that goes on Godlike Productions. YouTube. So what does the future hold? What does the future hold? War with Ukraine, Cold War with Russia. In fact, what the fuck? Why are we having a war with Russia? Ukraine? Okay, let them take it. Who cares? And so I say, let's get a little bit of land somewhere, Slovakia. Let's fight. Oh, we did that already with Ukraine, and we're doing it again. Literally, honestly, I'm quite a right-wing person, in my own thoughts and etc. Why the fuck are we having a war with Ukraine over Ukraine? I don't get it. Actually, let's go to Sussex Downs. Let's go to Stewartshire and see what they say.
said no, dude.
I don't know. I just don't get. So for the last 2 years, I've been like pummeled with get your vaccine, get your jab. So get your kids jabbed, and we've got this constant onslaught of injections from Pfizer, Moderna. But I don't listen to mainstream media, so this has gone like this. Customer, my customer goes, I've had 2 jabs, gotta get the booster. Sorry? 2 jabs, gotta get the booster. I've not had any jabs. You've got to get the booster against what? In case we got Omicron. Okay. Wow, what? Literally. Almost feel like I'm living in this sort of parallel universe.
Yeah, all the internet stopped working in the Ukraine.
Yeah, that's Russian push. Yeah. So I'm really confused about getting the jab for kids and just the jab in general. Now, Russia are going to invade Ukraine, but it's the weirdest invasion I've ever seen. We're going to come and invade. Don't come and invade. No. Scops. We're going to invade. Okay, come and invade. Regardless. You got your tanks. Have you got your tanks? Have you got your tanks and surface-to-air missiles? Not at the moment. Right, the West. B-52 bombers landing from into Fairford, area Fairford. So they're all gearing up, tagging the fucking heat off Boris Johnson. No jabs, Macron. The truckers, which I absolutely support in Canada. They're all plotting in for this big war. What the fuck? What war? Ukraine is like this fucking third border. Maybe you can understand it. It's like pyramids of gold. There's like rubies or diamonds just spewing out of the ground. There's diamonds, money, notes just spewing out. That's it's non-stop slipstream. Hang on a second. Hold on. Why are we going to Ukraine? So literally, what is this war about? Now somebody's bound to come in and tell me, oh yeah, because Russian imperialism or the West, we're so woke. I don't know. Literally, I don't know. And then I do know. And let me tell you what it's about. So Russian Prime Minister, Vladimir Putin, shaking hands with everybody. It's like, yeah, let's do this war. Cancel out problems in the West and here and there, in the West and in the East, and cancel out all these problems. What the fuck is going on? So we're very happy to have a war to sort of quell dissidents from the Canadian truckers, thousands of people on the streets in Paris, going against the vaccine mandates, and of course in Israel and in massive protests this week in Italy, all over it. But no, forget all of that. Irrelevant.
Standing by for comms check, mic check, over. The rabbit is in the bushes. The cartel is doing well.
1 2 1 over.
You a product, I got the match, I nothing change except the chunk. Knock the piss out of pussy boy, trust. Snort a 30 off the 40, let it bust. Give me bread, watch how quick I start to dunk. I put Fenty on the toe, she put 50 in my cup. What with all this racket, what the fuck with all this fuss? We be unapproachable, but still they bomb rush. Oh my, suicide, you're that guy. You're that guy who wanna die, what's your side? She a 9 personality, borderline. She tried to stand me up, but I dicked her down and bent her spine.
Sussex down. Luca, are you receiving me? Lucas Tech, are you receiving me? Over.
It's a bit early for him.
Anyone receiving for a mic check? Over.
Yes, we can hear you. Very loud. Very loud, I mean, you're loud and clear. It's fine.
What you all up to today? Over.
Oh, I don't know. Today I am mainly doing nothing.
I was gonna go fishing, but it's a bit wet, so I've just been listening to the International Space Station on my new antenna. Over.
Brilliant. Do you try and talk back to them, or do you just listen out for them?
I just listen out for them. When I get my laptop fixed, I'm going to do like my foundation course, so I can talk to other countries and other people in the UK. So as soon as I get my laptop fixed, I'm going to sign up for the course to get my license. Over. Do you have your license, or do you just use network radios? Over.
Yeah, I never went down the ham radio license thing.
Anyone that recommends any more Velo groups I should join to do with amateur radio or anything else? Over.
Do a network radio channel. If you go onto the website, Sussex Downs Radio Link, not that there's any recommended channels on there, but there is a section for recommended channels, and there's a link to the network radio website, and they've got quite a good list of other Zello channels.
I'm going to buy myself a new network radio. My budget would be under £200. What would you recommend? Over.
Depends. Do you want it a walkabout, handheld, or are you wanting something like a base station, sit on the table or plug in a car?
To be honest, I don't really mind. I'd rather a handheld, but a base station would be good too. Over.
Well, the best is the NESECU W5, I think it is. I'm not sure. W5 Plus now. I haven't caught up with the ranges, but that's a really nice mobile and desk unit. What else? T320s, but I'd move away from them because the screen and they get annoying. There was another handheld that was quite cool. I can't for the life of me think of the name of it at the moment. And a nice large screen. But to be honest, there's a thing called a Bluetooth microphone, handheld microphone. Enrico do it and NESECU do it. And it pairs up with your phone, so rather than having a network radio, using that Bluetooth microphone is probably the best way forward, because it saves the power on your phone. Keep your phone in your pocket and use your microphone. It lasts ages, and you can connect it to a tablet or a PC also when you're indoors via Zello. So rather than spending huge amounts of money, pick up a little Bluetooth microphone.
That's what I'll probably do. I'm going to go on the internet just now and see what Bluetooth microphones I can
see for a fairly decent price, over.
Yeah, it's a Pacific make. I don't know what they label them as now. I can send you a picture in a while when I'm home. I'm not quite there yet. But yeah, it's a Enrico or any Secu. And they do Bluetooth Zello microphones. Connect by Bluetooth, and then you press the button and you talk just like you would a normal microphone. But they're brilliant, you know. Pair them up to your tablet, pair them up to your phone. Keep your phone in your pocket, and then you can just walk about with the microphone in your hand. Feels a bit like a pager. It's about the size of a pager or a normal microphone, and so it works really well.
So I'll have a look at them when I finish talking to you. How much do you reckon I'd be looking at? And would it be better than a network radio, over?
Well, network radios are basically phones with slightly bigger battery and lower res screens, so they last longer. It depends on your use and how you're going to use it, but if you're just generally chatting, I would say stick to your phone. Get a Bluetooth handheld microphone, because then you can dock your phone when you're at home if you want, or have it in your pocket, and it'll save you a lot of money. It's basically the same thing. The network radios are cool, but yeah, they don't serve a massive purpose over a smartphone really, apart from, you know, probably better battery life in most cases, a louder speaker, and the PTT button on the side of them.
Afternoon.
Hello. Alright.
It's freezing here. -12. I think it's supposed to get warm. I seriously don't. How you doing?
Well, that's warmer. That's practically summer, isn't it? -12. It was 16 the other day.
Yeah, and it only warmed up to -11. Ugh. Can't wait to leave here. I want to go from one extreme to the next. It's either going to be like this. There's sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's in between. Very rarely is it just perfect. I want to go either to where it's going to always be so cold that I want to stay inside and say screw the world. I want to go where it very rarely sees snow.
Yeah, I don't know where I'd like to live. I would miss seasons. I couldn't live somewhere where it's the same all the time. I do like having seasons.
around my bones. First heartbeat became the 808 tone. Speech came later, gets greater as I grow.
The areas of America.
And a prayer for my faults. Love to my family and my family keeps growing.
Need to marry someone in America, I think, and move over there.
Well, I have a house for sale. Nice big house.
Everyone's a child playing out the game. I know I'm just the same.
Can't really find a price like that for that size property over where you're at. Whatever you do, don't go to the Caribbean. No. Go to the British Virgin Islands. You're going to be on a fault line. You're going to have earthquakes. You're going to have hurricanes go through. It's warm all the time. You could go swimming in the sea 365 days, well, not literally 365 days of the year, but temperature-wise, yes, you could go swimming. The beaches do get polluted. Water quality is not always the best, but it's always warm. Never too hot. It's always warm. You could break a sweat every day of the year. Might take a while on some days. Other days, not so long. Yeah. You would not want to live in the Caribbean.
Bill, what phone is it you're using? Do you have Zello on your phone? Or do you just use your network radio over?
Were you directing that at Fly or at me?
Anyone, over.
Kindle Fire HD 8 Plus and chat.
Right, back. Yeah, the kiddie who's interested in microphones and network radios put a couple of pictures in the channel of Bluetooth microphone. Incidentally, that's what I'm using now.
I just use my tablet. So I have an 8-inch screen. Poke the button. But I'm sure you remember many years ago. Oh, you can stick your phone in your pocket? Nice! And then all of a sudden, oh, you could flip it open? Cool! And all of a sudden, you can see pictures! You don't have buttons anymore? The evolution of how we look at our phones and devices. My goodness. Just saying.
Oh, what's happening? I can't hear my beep. I don't know whether I'm keying up or not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, evolution indeed. It's come a long way, isn't it? On the standard home phone. Just can't imagine it. Imagine going back to a normal home phone now, without having any mobile devices at all.
Yep. My roommates and I were at a store yesterday, just walking around because it's a new location for them. And, you know, we were just looking to see what was where and whatnot, because it's one of the shops that we usually go to. Well, the old location. This one's bigger. Not fully stocked yet, but you know how it is when you get a bigger, newer location of a shop. Anyways, we go through the toy aisle, and we see the little type rotary phone. And we both remember playing with that when we were tiny children. And we're looking at it, spinning the dial. Children today will never understand this. They'll never understand it. You'll have to set it down all the way on the receiver phones. All kinds of different phones. I know people who have gotten rid of some phones altogether because they don't need them anymore. Well, like I said, the evolution of your mobile phone. What I'm using right now to use Zello, I can watch Netflix, I can play games, I can check my email, I can watch live television, I can read books by the thousands. I can make phone calls. And yet, this is a technology that some people have grown up with. I remember seeing my stepfather holding a little plastic thing in his hand one day. What's that? Oh, he's reading a book. Huh? Yeah, he has poetry on there. I want one.
Oh, I don't know why I can't hear the beep. Normally I get a beep. There must be a reason. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. You can get these things called a hang on, I think of the name of it. Crosslink Bluetooth gateway for the old phones. So what you can do is you can plug your old phone into this Bluetooth gateway thing, and it will pair with your mobile phone. And basically when people ring you, it rings that, and you can answer it and still carry on using it, and you can ring out on it as well. It's really cool. Bluetooth exchange for old antique phones and vintage phones. It's expensive, but funny enough, the company who make them, I think, is Canada. don't know whether they're cheaper for you to get hold of. If they are, that'd be really cool, because I would like to buy quite a few of them. It's expensive to get them over here. But yeah, really cool. So if your phone rings, you can use it like the old phone. It's brilliant.
I actually knew somebody, I can't remember who it was, actually had that set up at one point. I'm still trying to find something that my dad was looking for. You see the receiver on that telephone? It was an accessory for the mobile phone. Looks just like an old telephone receiver. And basically, your phone would be in your pocket or whatever. You pick up the receiver, put it to your ear, and you talk on the phone. Okay.
Yeah, I remember them. I like it. What I really enjoy doing is, I don't know whether you... But I really enjoy, when I get a phone call, being able to pick it up. It sounds daft, because you think, well, why don't you just walk around with your mobile phone? But on the older phones, the dial phones, I mean, that one I've just taken a picture of is pre-war. But on the sort of older dial phones, you can put your hand just under the back, and you hold it in your hand and carry it about while holding the receiver. And it feels very familiar and very nice. And rather than walking around with my mobile phone, for some bizarre reason, I do have a habit of walking around with that bloody thing and talking on it when I get a phone call.
Oh, that was one thing that used to annoy my parents to no end. Get a phone call. And thank goodness we had a 20-foot cord. Go all the way to my bedroom. Go all the way to the loop. Very small house, mind you. Go all the way to the living room. My mum would be in her bedroom over by the telly. I'd walk over to her. Mum! Don't do that. Phone call! Alright. Oh, yeah, just walk all over the place with it. And there were very few places where that cord would not reach. Again, it was a small house. But, it would really bug my brother when I would actually be on the phone and sit in the hallway. Because the chair was next to his bedroom door, against the wall that it was against the wall to my dad's room. The phone was on the other side of the kitchen wall. So here's the cord going all the way around the hallway, and my brother'd have to get to his room. If you tried to move the cord, it's going to unplug from the phone. So he wasn't allowed to touch the cord while I was on the phone. And really fun memories.
Yeah, and then somebody would walk past while you've got it in your bedroom, trip over the cable and get out the wall. And then you'd be cut off in a panic, because you just hung up on your girlfriend or whatever. Yeah, all good fun.
I remember one day I got a phone call. My parents asked me a friend of mine asked me if I could go to the park. My parents said that I could. Forgot to tell my friend I could. Put the phone down. Went to the park. I'm waiting for my friend for about 20 or 30 minutes. But you just set down the phone. Sorry? So I got home, parents were like, you know, you left without telling your friend you're going to meet her at the park. We had to tell her that we gave you permission and you'd already left. I have to hang up the phone for you. Oops.
Another little novelty item. Just take the picture. Yeah, there's something nice. I mean, that phone I've just taken a picture of. How sentimental it gets. I've had it for a long time. Actually been in every house I've ever lived in since I was a kid. So I can remember talking to girlfriends on it, talking to grandparents on it when I was a young kid, talking to my parents on it when I got older, them using it to talk to their parents. So I've had disasters, I've had births, I've had deaths, I've had wrong numbers. I've had some bloke who thought he was dialing the local pub because we took a number and it happened to once belong to a local pub. So that phone has got a lot of history. And there's been times where I've thought, well, you know, what am I keeping that for? And then suddenly when this new device came out where you can make use of them again, I thought, yeah, I've got to have that. I've got to be using it. So it's back in service again. But I think that's really cool. And I think it's a thing that got overlooked back then, being that it's unlike a mobile phone, which people throw away every couple of years. That sits there with you through life. And most of the news that you used to get usually came through it.
I remember 2 phone calls that were made to our number. One of them hurt the whole family. October of 95, when my uncles rang. My parents were busy. I tried to get them on the phone. They told me why he rang. When my parents heard me scream, they knew that they had to get to the phone when my grandfather died. And the other one, not happy about for me, but my dad was pissed. Oh my God. It was at 1 minute past midnight on July 22nd, 1989. My dad's adopted sister Katie rang. The phone ringing woke me up. Everybody up. Before I tell you the nature of the phone call, I've always wanted a dog. And the only way I could get a dog was if it was red, male, born on July 21st. Right? Keep in mind, July 22nd, a minute after midnight. Okay. Phone rings. It's Terry. Or Katie. Either way. Ty answers. Well, fuck you, Terry. On my line. I got a dog. I got a dog. He was born at 11:59 p.m. on July 21st, and he was red.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so many little things we just overlook. It has connections to so many other things. I think ticking clocks as well is another one. Mantle clocks and chiming clocks. I do like the West Midlands time clock, but I'm starting to lean towards the bonging ones as well. Little things like that can send you way back in time.
Remember growing up in school, the wall clock. You can actually hear the every second. sudden they did away with that, and they were silent.
Skin the color of bark.
And they went digital.
Clothes smelling like trees, sticking my fur from my roots and weeds, mature weeds right back in the arm. No scar, but I love my
Young people today will never understand the evolution of technology that we dealt with. Or, let alone, you know, let's just go with my great-grandmother. She only passed away back in 2008. Well, 1912. She's seen the evolution of the phone. She's seen birth of computers. During World War II, she took a cargo ship down to Argentina. Well, that was the only way to travel. Her husband got transferred down to Buenos Aires for work. So the two of them plus my grandmother had to go down there because they didn't know how long they were going to be, and can't just send a man who was married with a child, you know, that far for an indefinite period of time and not take the rest of the family. Well, I think they spent 3 years down there, and just watching the evolution of transportation even. And I remember so many times going to put gas in her car. Petrol station prices. Oh my goodness. First we're complaining about it being more than 50 cents a gallon. Then we're complaining about it being more than 75 cents a gallon. Oh my goodness, now we can't get it for less than $2.
I think we're in an interesting time again. No, I think that we've reached a peak in everyday technology where there's not really much else that we could possibly want to make our lives easier. You know, we've got the Google Voices, we've got the smartphones, and we've got all devices we need. But I think we've now reached this peak where we're kind of thinking, we know what we like, but how do we do it in an environmentally friendly way and make it better and more usable? I mean, over here there's kind of been a big boom in reusing old items, buying quality items that last, which I'm sure it probably is everywhere else. And also looking at things and thinking, well, that could be made out of something else. And like before plastics, everything used to be made out of wood. I mean, your TV set would have a wooden case. Your radios would have a wooden case before Bakelite and before plastic and everything. And kind of now we understand that that's not a bad thing. It's recyclable and reusable. So you're actually seeing companies now, thank God, moving away from all the plastics and everything and going back to the old way of making things, cabinet making. There's a company down the road from me makes cabinets and wardrobes and things, and they've seen a massive boom in making real wood stuff from a sustainable forest. And there was a woman on Dragon's Den the other night, and she was making a baby bouncer out of bamboo to try and avoid plastics. So we're kind of got to the point now, we kind of can't think of anything new to create and design, but look at stuff that we do have and use every day and trying to make it a bit more sustainable and more usable, which is really cool. I didn't even know that modern day sofas are being made out of cardboard now. Can you believe that? You're paying like $2,000, $3,000 for a sofa, and they don't have wooden frames in, they're made out of cardboard.
Well, when my kung fu instructor moved temporarily to a new apartment, like the apartment was brand new. They just created it for her. She needed new furniture. So she bought one of those foldable beds. You have basically a mat on the floor, or you fold it up and you have a chair. I first saw those, in my presence when I bought one for my daughter. In fact, I had a couple of them. You fold out the seat and there's a bed. Great for taking over to Grand's house. Well, there's that. Or why don't we just start using better sustainable things? Granted, yes, cardboard, highly recyclable. Easier to break. Really. I was saying yesterday about recycling. Recyclables. Wood, cotton, and paper, which actually comes from wood, can all just be thrown in the fire. Synthetic materials you can't. Well, I'm pretty sure you have a dryer, a clothes dryer. It gets a lint. Over here we have styrofoam or cardboard for egg cartons. Well, one reason why I lean towards the cardboard ones. What's this? You throw out a lot of glass jars. Save them. When you cook, pour your grease and fat into it. You could either reuse that for lard for more cooking, mix it in with pet food for a healthier, thicker, shinier coat, or take your cardboard egg carton, your dry lint, and some of that lard, grease, fat, whatever you want to call it, put them together, place them in your fireplace or in a fire pit, light it, some fire starter. Wait, you just recycled and took out the trash at the same time.
Classic top tip. Hope somebody utilises it moving forward. I think if I had the money to start a new business, I think I'd like to start a shop, high street shop, but only sell items that can be repaired. So I think that'd be really cool. So every item in your shop is something that can be serviceable and repaired, and people can bring it back to you, and of course you have all the parts and everything else. So that will be the next big shop on our high streets, I reckon. I reckon it's going to come soon.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't get about my generation. We're a mix of all kinds of thinking. And we're raising our children to follow our individual footsteps. And they kind of rebel, or they'll follow along, obviously, like every generation does. But you have the recyclers, you have the frugals, you have the I don't care. Sorry, my cat's being annoying. He's looking for treats. They're not there. Talking about a couple of jelly jars. And the glass of... I'm not going to say what. But, my mother's parents, Grandpa grew up on a farm. He had hand-me-downs. His children, or his and his brothers and sisters' clothes, if they were not in disrepair. Grandmother grew up in a city. Granted, yes, she actually also knew how to make do with what she had. Well, Sorry, he's going to make a mess.
I'ma just be honest, you were never good to suck. Let me for my cash when you over with a truck. You wanna hang with me, but you ain't gonna love. Flex game, bitch, you already know. Chillin' with the homies, yeah, but got a good flow. Damn, oh.
My parents.
Motherfuckers can't touch us. Flex gang, you finna get crushed. Bang, bang, gang, gang, oh goddamn.
One with waste and the one that would recycle.
Can I see the booty from behind? Fuck a bitch, then I'm back on the grind. Damn, son, kicking it back.
I was raised to always find stuff that could be reused.
I do it for the squad and the fame.
And if you can't reuse it somehow, you don't need it. If it is something that's going to be used for just a little bit of time, it better be sustainable in some way, shape, or form. Like a glass jar you could reuse. A toy. Is it going to easily break? And if it does break, what's going to happen when you throw it out if it can't be fixed? Does it have an internal battery that can never be changed? Yeah, I grew up being asked all these questions and then asking all these questions. Well, my ex-husband's one of those, I like it, I buy it, it don't work, I throw it out type people. So my children are kind of a mix of the two of us. One's more practical than the other. But, no, I don't want to do that. I'm sorry, my cat's being annoying. But if you're going to go and do certain things, you need to be able to have things that are sustainable. Things that are not going to harm the environment. If you want to go back to, this campground, you don't want last year's shampoo causing problems with where you normally bathe. You want to find something that you can use there. So that's the way I grew up. My ex-husband, use it, toss it. So we need to somehow come to some kind of balance, really. We need to stop living in a throwaway world. And honestly, you get that shop running, come over here and help me open the same shop.
Sorry, I missed a lot of that over. I got disconnected for some reason. But yes, the theme is we're very backwards. We need to go backwards a little bit. And start looking at all our stuff and thinking, does it really need to be that way? Yeah, new, better off buying used, good quality used, and keep reusing it until it literally falls apart.
I think I lost a young kid, but I was actually going to say, we live in a world now of instant gratification is king. Do it for me. It has to be factory made to perfection, because it has to be just like his or hers. We all have to have the exact same. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you've grown something, or built something, or made something with your own two hands. The self-satisfaction of, I made that myself, is gone. We don't teach our children anymore how to make, grow, create. They're not allowed to use imagination. Even the television shows. Let's look at Dora the Explorer. Oh, do you see where this sound is coming from? It's pointing right at it. Oh, do you see the big... It's the only thing on the screen that is red. It's the only thing on the screen at all. Right, so So it's teaching you that this is what this is.
Jesus H Christ and the H is for Hermes. Bitch, that
But
my Porsche, but my license is learners. He got
yeah,
that
let's
back
use our
that we
imagination.
call that deferments. Can't trust no
What's
bitch that
imagination?
don't know what a permit. Michael B.
Can't do that anymore.
That's for barman. We not the same.
Picture book. Tell me the story that's in this book. We used to have about 5,000 different stories for this one book. Now, if you don't tell this story the exact way that they want you to tell this story, you told it wrong, you fail. Alright, go make me some bread. Alright, there'll be 50 cents. What do you mean? 50 cents down at the shop. No, go make some bread. The ingredients, they don't know how to measure, they don't know how to do anymore. We don't teach them that.
Just put a picture up, the last thing I made. Trying to show someone how to carve wood. Made them a little opener out of my mop handle. Anyway, yeah, I'll tell you what is really sad is that people who can do stuff really well, like woodworkers, carpenters and everything else, can't do so in the numbers that makes their life sustainable, and I find that very sad now. I mean, they can make beautiful stuff, charge the earth for it, but because it's so expensive nobody buys it. Immediately people buy the factory produced stuff in it, multiple numbers, and it's a real shame because there's some very talented people out there who can make some beautiful things, but they can't sustain their lifestyle or just pay their way, living costs and everything, because they can't make enough. They can't turn out the numbers that's required for them to live off what they enjoy doing, and that's a real shame. Right, anyway, I've got to disappear for a little while. I'll be sitting on the side.
Oh, boy, actually, before you go, if you look at the two pictures I just took, I made that for my sister. I haven't wrapped it yet. I made it year before last for Christmas. I'm waiting until closer to when I see her to wrap it. Until then, that is something that I just started doing for fun. Just making stuff out of wood for friends and family. Made one for each of my children, for two of my brothers, my nephew, my parents. It's hard work. Oh, wait, I think that might be the problem. Nowadays people are afraid of hard work. We can have somebody else make it, we can have it 3D printed. No. Do it yourself. Make it yourself. You can actually say, I did this.
Yeah. Yeah, hard work. That is true. Yeah, that I think that's the spin-off. I mean, I'm a little bit like that myself. I think losing patience. I think that's the spin-off of apps and computers. Achieving everything within 10 minutes. If it takes longer, you get frustrated with it. Watching 5-minute crafts on YouTube, people speeding up the videos on how to make things, and kids watch it, and then when they start to do it, it's not done as quick as the YouTube video does it, so that causes a lot of frustration and anger. Yeah, it is a problem. And I feel it myself, if I watch something on YouTube and I'm thinking, oh, how's he doing that? I can't do it. Well, it's taking too long. You do feel that impatience, which has kind of developed solely through this internet age. It's a real shame. Right, anyway, I'll be back in a little while. I've just got to take some stuff outside and clean up a bit.
Copy that. So when you return, you could hear this one. What actually started me with woodworking is I needed an instrument stand for my flute and piccolo. So I first bought a rod that would fit inside my flute. And knowing my piccolo is smaller, so I chopped it down into 6 equal parts. and I whittled down 3 of them so that they would fit inside my piccolo. And then I went over to my ex's dad's house and asked him if he had any boards that I could use to attach the rods to, and he said, yeah, this wood here, have fun. So I made 4 instrument stands, could hold 3 flutes and 3 piccolos with it. Hand carved and painted all of them myself. The only help I got was getting the tools that I needed, getting advice, and then somebody helped me later on fix the angles and whatnot, because that's what that person does. But I had so much wood left over, I started just chiseling away, carving, and I wrote my children's names, one on each board, flipped them over, wrote their nicknames, painted them, then added a few more to the list of names I did. So I made 2 Tonys, a Kevin, a Tom, a Sinead, a Madeline. You know, you saw Sarah, Bob, and Anna, Chris, Kyle, Eric, Nikita. Done dozens of them already. I have more outside that need to be finished up. I have a big epic piece commissioned by an uncle. It has a hot and wood gold. I need to finish carving it out, and then I need to sand it a little, paint it, and then it should be ready for his birthday, probably, well, hopefully this year. Big piece of wood. It's going on his desk of all things. But it all starts with just simple, well, brain thought. You know, simple idea. A little wild hair up from then. I could do this shit. Well, then do it. Make it. You want something? Make it yourself. Why waste money when you just don't create? You know, create it. It just started off with, I need a stand for my flute and piccolo, so I'm not just setting them on the church pew and on my music stand. There we go. Now.
Hello.
Watching nights at some museums, especially now. But good film. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. Is that the first one?
No, the last one. Night at the Museum, Secret of something or other.
Oh, right. Is that the one where they go to London?
They're all in London, I think. But yes, when Teddy, the caveman, falls in love with the blonde girl that sits in the checkout point and lets people through.
Yeah, good, aren't they? They're fairly consistent, all of them.
As you're in one place a lot, you're travelling around a lot, what you up to?
I am recovering after going to the jump park yesterday, which has inflatables and trampolines, and I ate in places I didn't think was possible. And yeah, just sort of driving home now, really. Pouring down with rain, absolutely horrible.
Yep, I saw that coming in on my weather application last night, and I've made sure I've got enough milk to last me a couple of days. Bought a packet of Blackie earlier on. Yeah, I'm happy. happy now.
Yeah, it's horrible. Just had a near miss with a bloody great log off a tree blown down, smashed in the road in front of me. Part of it just missed the windscreen. Luckily, I avoided it. I just ended up driving over a few of the little branches. But yeah, it's not very nice at all.
You used to be careful whereabouts you parked. Winds are going to be extremely bad from this year onwards. They've been saying it for a few years, and it's just getting worse every year now.
No, this is driving on the motorway. Obviously they've done hedge cutting or tree cutting or something. They must have made branches weak, or they missed that one, I don't know. It just suddenly blew down onto the dual carriageway. Yeah, it happens. But yeah, it's quite surprising on the dual carriageway. Expect it on the sort of country roads. I don't know what's going on with drainage in this country, but none of the roads seem to have any drains anymore. I might as well just be in a boat.
Don't speak too soon. I'm sure people have considered it at times. But I don't know how they can complain. They say every year that the reservoirs go down when it's hot in summer because of the lack of water, but they're not bloody saving anything that's, because there aren't any drains there and it just seeps back into the earth.
It's probably part of the problem. You might have been right. They don't seem to be putting proper drainage systems in on the roads. This road was resurfaced quite recently. But pretty much lots of surface water. It doesn't seem to be draining anyway. So yeah, you could be right. Unless they don't like road water going into the drains because of all the crap it picks up, I don't know, but you can probably hear it. It's pretty damn wet and it don't seem to be going nowhere. Talking of water, did you see that news story about somewhere in Cambridgeshire where they tested the drinking water and they found that there was a chemical in it that breaks down the immune system, weakens the immune system. People were drinking it for ages just by some chance somebody tested it or it got known about and hit the press that the water board suddenly spoke up. Apparently it had been leaking into the water system for a while, into the drinking water up there. And it's some sort of chemical that's used in fire prevention sprays and things.
Yeah, what? My God, that's dangerous. See why people get them plastic filters and run the water through it and then tip half of it away. Yeah, it's all that shit.
Yeah, apparently it's a chemical that doesn't break down naturally or doesn't break down. It stays in its current form, and they use it in fire extinguishers. So I don't know how it got into the water system, but one of the things that it does do to people is weaken their immune system. As I say, it was only because someone reported it or did something that it made the news, and it does make you wonder how many other water systems may have had that in it through the COVID. I mean, this is all through the COVID as well, which is even worse. One time when people need their immune system.
Got a brother on this, so bad I'm about to pass out. Wanna dig you, and I can't even lie about it, baby. Just alleviate your clothes, I'ma fly about it. Catch you at the club, your hips have got me feeling. Body talking quick to me, but I can't comprehend the meaning. Now if you wanna roll with me, then here's your chance to win, lady on the freeway. Catch me if you can, forgive me, I'm a rider. Still I'm just a simple man. All I want is money.
It didn't make such a big deal. I think at the time there was still Partygate going on with Boris, and that was kind of just one of the little news stories in the background that pops up.
Well, there was a time when humans had tails. Mm-hmm. Yep. What's the dealio?
I still have, and I'm often caught wagging.
Well, the tail was only used for two special items. One was to keep away the flies, and the second one was an insignia for sexual attraction. Well, that explains a lot.
I mainly use mine for holding beer.
I think it was used more as a spanking device, but don't quote me.
That works too. Self-flagellation. There's a sensible word I haven't used on this channel for a while.
Well, if you hear a lot of guys get together, you know, the first thing they say, there goes a foxy girl. I should like to... Never mind.
That's where the same piece of tail comes from.
Yeah. You don't have any kids, Bly?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I only have two, a girl and a boy. You know, but as old as they are, I don't know if they're getting smarter or if they're getting dumber.
Yeah, I know what you mean. They look at things in a completely different way. But I tell you what, I'm blown away by my youngest, his memory. He remembers things, and you think, how the hell have you remembered that? It may have only been around something for a very short period of time, and then weeks later it can remind you of it.
I got bigger problems than that. You know, Einstein's IQ was 160. My son's IQ is 175. So don't misunderstand me. I appreciate him being sharp, assertive, quick, photographic memory and all. But the guy can't tie his shoelaces.
Yeah, what's all that about then? I blame the parents.
Right? I just can't put my finger on it.
Who's waiting for that, weren't you?
Oh yeah, when they do something wrong, you know who gets the blame.
Yeah, don't I just?
Yeah, kids, who needs them? They grow up and take your car keys.
I don't know about you, but I'm saying to Kirst, I spent 2 hours yesterday in a trampoline-style park, bouncy castles and everything, flying up walls, jumping off inflatable bollards and God knows what else, and I ate absolutely everywhere. I was done in about 20 minutes of being in there. That was it. I was game over.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, we have a different word for that here. We call it work.
Last time I went on the bouncy castle, Angel had come down and we'd gone down to the What's-It farm. In the next village. You know where I'm on about, Bly. And I played on the bouncy castle because her kids were there then. I can't remember if they were. Anyway, yeah, I was sore then the day afterwards.
This place is brilliant. It's like a warehouse, and it's one big bouncy castle with tunnels and climbing walls and everything. And when you walk in it's just all one big bouncy castle, so you kind of go everywhere like you're walking on the moon, which becomes quite a shock when you finally get off it and start going back to your car because you still feel like you're walking a bit funny.
Yeah, it's the same as like you do when you come off the pedals at Brighton Beach.
Yeah, I date nowadays, Bly. I don't have that luxury of having that steady eddy. My point is that every now and then I get mooned.
Yeah, what did you say?
I thought you would put you thinking for a little bit. Well, darn. Everybody and their brothers here at the store. What's the dealio? Oh, it's Super Bowl.
Pouring down the rain, wind everywhere.
Well, temperature outside is 55 degrees. I'm parked on top of a hill. There's not a cloud in the sky for, I would say, an easy 500 miles.
Oh, shut up with your nice weather. Bloody roundabout as well. What's going on? I don't seem to know what to do with it. It is, according to the car, 8 degrees here. And it's raining. Can you hear that? And quite windy.
Yeah. My opinion, and not the opinion of Zello, because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I think the NATO needs to get Putin and put him in timeout.
Have they gone to war yet? Keep hearing that he was lining up his troops. And I love the fact they keep saying, "Oh, we're just doing exercises, we're not going to war." But have they actually done anything yet? Made any moves?
I cannot be bothered to even watch. I've been watching the news quite regularly, trying to keep up with stuff, but they keep going on the news every day saying they're going to do exactly the same thing, threatening each other and then expecting the war to happen imminently. And all they're doing is just moving tanks around and playing silly.
Well, it really doesn't make a lot of sense. He can't feed the people he's got in Russia, and then he wants to gain more people and more property. Hello? Somebody needs to grab his little bald head and spin him around a couple of times. I think myself, he's got all these planes, he's got all these tanks, but he has no gas. It's going to be interesting. We'll just have to watch.
Yeah.
Give a fix like I'm the plug. She said she likes the thugs. Well, I got a pockets full of drugs and a semi-thug bitch said she wants to fuck.
He's a strange old character, isn't he? Oh, I thought he was going to step down at one point. I thought I was talking about it.
Well, he has a safe face now. You know, I told you guys many years ago, and I don't know if anybody heard me, but you know, in Russia, they don't have Facebook. They have two Facebook.
You must know by now, nobody actually listens to you.
Oh, I know. I'm just singing in the hallway listening to myself. You ever get hit by a shopping cart and a calf? Man, that hurts.
No, I've been in one that's crashed.
Well, that was mostly your fault.
I ain't kidding you, the store is packed. Everybody's picking up potato chips, beer, and potato chips and beer.
Oh, talking of food, I came across these things called hash brown fries in Iceland. They're really nice.
I make my own hash browns.
Yeah, I've had a go. They never come out quite right with me. Never quite get them sussed. Everyone is different.
Well, the trick is just a little bit of onion, you know, and it makes them taste sweet.
Always amazes me how much water onions hold. And and potatoes. If anyone's ever sort of grated potatoes or onions and then tried to squeeze the water out of them, it's always amazing how much water comes out. And here's another thing. When farmers over here, they used to spray their crops with sewage, brown water, to water their crops. How does that get filtered through the plant when we eat the plant? That's something. Does it just like the heat evaporate? But then you think, well, the particles must get left. Again, when you squeeze an onion and potatoes, you see lots of water coming out. You just think, well, how's that water? What was it originally?
Oh, don't get me started on the chemistry.
Yeah, they must purify the water. Eventually use the nutrients out of it and juice. But you just thought it would carry something.
Not down here in Texas. I'm sorry, I was talking through my mask. What they'll do is just kind of aerate it, or that's a fancy way of saying they spray it in the air. Sorry. Somebody just lost their butter.
Where's NB anyway? She been on? She listening?
I think she's on one of her spiritual escapades.
It's a big special day today for her.
She's getting married?
I think she turned 70 today.
Wow. She's not over the hill, she's downhill.
She's probably drunk by now anyway. I'm going to get a reaction then.
Be careful what you wish for. Well, I'm 72. you know, and everything seems to work.
What you think?
No, I don't have any problems. Like, I don't wear glasses. I guess I'm kind of lucky. I don't know what it is.
And what they say 70 years now, is it the new 60 or new 40 or something? Well, there's a lot more younger 70-year-olds than there have ever been before.
Well, I really don't drink. I really don't smoke. I try to stay busy. I'm retired. I just find myself about 4:30 is as far as I can go. I throw in the towel and go home.
If you're not retired, are you really? You're still working. But yeah, keeping busy is definitely a big part of it.
I just kind of work for the community. I don't really do it for me. I just try to keep people out of trouble.
But you gloat like hell though when you find that they're in trouble.
Well, as large as this city is, someone's always in trouble. I used to go to Houston quite a bit, but I just got tired of the drive.
Yeah, I hear a lot about Houston. Quite like to check it out one day.
Well, take your tennis shoes, take your whoopee cushion. 2.5 hours any which way you go in Houston. And that's just trying to get into the city. And once you do get into the city, it's 1 hour and 30 minutes from point to point, at least minimum of 2 hours. That's Houston.
I think these virtual worlds, I saw a news report on the new headsets and everything, virtual reality meeting places for Zoom and everything. I think they're going to be quite well mapped, all these cities, the next decade, and we'll be able to put on a helmet and just walk around any of them and meet people.
Well, the IRS was demanding that everybody does a fingerprint and facial recognition software in order to get their income tax. When they discovered that more than 75% of the people couldn't get the damn thing to work, they quit doing it. So much for the computer age.
Quantum computing going to be a threat to Bitcoin?
I only caught the tail end of that.
Quantum computing, potholes. Quantum computing going to be a threat to Bitcoin?
Quantum computing is going to be a threat to everything. You know, just imagine. You don't have to go to the doctor. This thing will scan your whole body and say you only have 28 days to live. Get out of here.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm a bit wary of what they're going to be like. Having all that processing power. Literally, the first company that gets has the casting is going to take control of a lot of things. Everything surely is going to be predictable.
Yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of it, don't it?
Got to, isn't it? Got to. It's going to be the closest we're going to get to time travel or predicting the future, because these things are going to process information so fast that they're going to know exactly what everyone's doing just from the level of information that's been gathered so far. You imagine taking all the data that's been gathered on everybody at the moment through social media and everything, and then processing that through quantum computers to predict behaviours and futures. You don't stand a chance.
Well, not only that, when the quantum computer realizes it's who built it, they'll just kind of look at itself and go, here's the problem. These humans are too slow. They'll just annihilate us all in about 15 seconds and live for the next quadrillion years without us.
Yeah, the trouble is everything wants to be smarter than something. It's going to keep someone around just to gloat. Be like a little Texan bloke going around with his screwdriver, retired. You know, they'll keep him going just so they can gloat.
It's like this 5-year-old kid told me the other day. He kind of looked at me and says, "You're old." And I said, "You're stupid."
He ties the shoelaces. Right, I've reached my destination. Thanks to the chap.
Have a nice day, bud. It's our lot in life to suffer. I don't know what to tell you. It's just the way things are.
Don't let the buggers get you there.
Oh, I don't know about that one. No, they're not going to have the English analytic story of the game like we do now.
Well, howdy ho, neighbor.
Well, golly.
Well, gee Wally.
Well, Buffalo Bazooka.
There's no need to fear. The underdog is here.
Yeah.
Black dimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black dimmer, front stars glimmer. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Black dimmer, black dimmer, black dimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black dimmer, front stars glimmer. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Black dimmer, black dimmer. I've been feeling so emotional now. Got my heartbeat racing through the streets of my town. Got the champagne popping and I'm going in wild. When I gotta hit the gas, ain't no time for a countdown. No judgment, I just do my own thing. Don't need opinions, riding in my own lane. You better check me, cause I ain't got no brakes. Better strap up, cause we're doing it in my way. Got a black bimmer ready for the party. Road shaking when I be starting. Revving up, all the odds be startling. 4.4 V8 bombarding. Got them lights, they can flash like stars. Come around and my thing is up to par. Hit the switch and we're going in bar. 6 gear pedaling, man, I'm taking you to Mars, eh? Black bimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black bimmer, orange staunch liver. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Black bimmer, black bimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black bimmer, front staunch liver. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Black bimmer, black bimmer, black bimmer, feel my blood simmer. Front staunch liver. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Got myself a winner. When I be starting, revving up, all the odds be startling. 4.4 V8 bombarding. Black bimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black bimmer, orange staunch liver. Not a silver, got myself a winner. Black bimmer, feel my blood simmer. Black bimmer. star glimmer, not a silver. Got myself a winner. Black dimmer, black dimmer, black dimmer. Feel my blood simmer. Black dimmer, burnt star glimmer, not a silver. Got myself a winner. Black dimmer, black dimmer.
Oswald's getting kicked out tomorrow. Says FTC next username. The other two victims as well. FTC. Ferocious, high-profile FTC's full-time care. Looks like all the victims need additional nursing assistance now. If they get kicked out for that, this case won't accept anybody that needs continuous medical care. It was all in the information here. That's what's happening here.
I get to smoke in the grass. I let it soak in the bath. She says I'm a sociopath. Now go get my drugs from the stash. You ain't send her to me, no, but I send her home in a cab. I made a splash in the Uber. Underwater like we scuba. I don't care about these peasants' peons. No new friends, the type of shit I be on. Chains around my neck like Dion. Flexing, yeah, my Vans are neon. I need some bands for the seance. I can't even take a day off. I might just go let you pay off. Go to Rodeo. Pretty bitch holding my Yale. Drop that knowledge like Yale. They say Rico not getting no bail. Damn. What? I'm at your house like the mailman. They worship me like Van Halen. I build a coffin and nail it. Panama. I got the juice and the stamina. Panama. A shorty, she came straight from Canada. I get to smoke in the grass. I let it soak in the bath. She says I'm a sociopath. Editor, hope you do math. You ain't send her to me, no, but I sent her home in a cab. Plus the pussy was whack. She a deadbeat like my dad. They ain't catch it cause the fucking wordplay. Cut your arteries and watch your nerves spray. Why you thirsty in the fucking first place? Met her Wednesday, then I fucked her Thursday. Yo, all of these rappers need first day. I want success in the worst way. I think all of my exes, they curse me. Fuck them bitches anyway, I'm on the move. Sauce and heavy, tell me what you tryna do. I don't see the way you tryna move. I don't see the way you think you smooth. Never weigh it on your man scale. Drop it on you like a anvil. She gon' grab it like a handrail. Pop it on you like a Advil. I just been working with Panama. And my bitch came straight for Panama. I got the juice and the stamina. Panama. A shorty, she came straight from Canada. I get to smoke in the grass. I let it soak in the bath. She says I'm a sociopath. Editor, hope you do math. Panama. I got Panama. I got my bitch straight from Panama. My shorty, she comes straight from Canada. Panama. I got the juice and the stamina.
Yes, so you feel that the culprit is right here in this room, and it's you. Names coming to my brain. Help me, Rhonda. Rhonda Overford, your dear old mother at Sunshine Meadows. 7 on the waiting list to get into the Pines. Yeah. Hey. Gang.
Two boys got me on tilt. Big bad what I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the blue dollar bills. Two boys got me on tilt. Big bad what I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the blue dollar bills.
Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. Ay, hundreds, 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 hundreds. Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. She got Molly all in her cup. I got gas all in this blunt. I got purple all in this styrofoam. Got a lot of hoes tryna fuck. Designer denim hanging off my ass. Fresh cream, I just popped the tag. The way I'm flexing got these niggas mad. The way I'm flexing got these. Ay, I know they jealous. I smell it. The haters repulsive. I need some repellent. My shoes on my jello. My bitch are from heaven. My presence a blessing. Ay, I mixed it in with the Moet. I got a O and I blow it. I got the sauce, your whole lot. She with me popping up and see open. Wait. 2 bars got me on tilt. Big bad wood, I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the $1 bills. 2 bars got me on tilt. Big bad wood, I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the $1 bills. Ay, hundreds, 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 hundreds. Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. Hundreds, 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 hundreds. Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. I gotta go get it. Take a pic, watch the way that a nigga gon' pose in it. Bet I got a couple bad hoes in it. Couple hitty and some good dope in it. I'm a fly nigga, kinda high nigga. I'm die nigga, I'm in D nigga. I'm famous, I make that boy vanish. Run out like a bandit, your Hannibal eat niggas. I decease niggas, I delete niggas. Don't befriend niggas, boy I end niggas. I befriend bitches, then I hit bitches. I put dick in her, she can't get enough. Multiply the money, spend it up. Don't rely on no handouts. Settle real, put their fucking hands up. Fuck nigga, gon' put your hands down. That's 2 bars got me on tilt. Big bad wood, I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the $1 bills. 2 bars got me on tilt. Big bad wood, I'm built. I don't give a fuck how they feel. I just want the $1 bills. Ay, hundreds, 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 hundreds. Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. Ay, hundreds, 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 hundreds. Walking the banks and I run it. Walking the banks and I run it. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up.
What is going on in here?
Yeah. They should call me Ray Charles, boy. Stay lost, boy. Break laws, boy. Shit was my day job, boy. It was still on sight when I see that nigga till I seen that same lost boy. In the eyes of the man I was about to kill, reflect back to the same lost boy. Cause it's all a cycle, all survival, all that you know, all that I know. Fall or fly, yo, call a doc low. Thought when I go, the God of my hope was just a gun. Yeah, the God of my hope was just a gun. Yeah. Hell, I had asked for death to pass depression. I hold wrath, aggression, and revenge. And I know faster methods than regretting my own bad direction, manifesting my own woe. Maybe it's the show without the ghost. Maybe it's the hell I had to quell I had the most. Maybe it's the devil in my head that I've been dreading and betraying. It's the motherfucking go. Sky, try to make it mine. Try to make it mine. Try to make it mine. Yeah. Try to make it mine. Try to make it mine. Try to make it mine. Yeah, writing while I'm riding on the highway. I've been hiding all my life behind a crime rate. I was trying when you died and I lost my way. I thought my world had turned into the fucking ice age. But it's not you. My mind made it fine, but it's not true. I tried to be flying with a small room. My mind got the guidance to fall through. And it's like I like flying to fall, who knows? But I won't take the stain or play the game in place, cause it stays the same. And they complain and hate, but don't make a change so they can change the game. But it's safe to say that I'm out.
shit is patience. Dedication more so than anything else. It's about to drop in a week, still recording. I'm recording my motherfucking self. Loud. Bitch, I was working when niggas was chillin'. So brick by brick by brick by brick, I'ma build it. A mountain mover with my faith, how I did it. A lion tamer in the cage with the killers. So King Kong, the McGilla gorillas. A fucking monster, bring a bigger militia. A fucking lie if that boy say that he yellow. I stood in the rain like I'm in the edition. Bitch, my city sit like I got my nutrition. The megalodon in the pond with the fishes. 6 tapes in the year, shit, I'm pretty efficient. Still roll for a nigga, I won't say a thing. Coded, I keep is a secret, I claim. No dirt on my name, you and I not the same. Niggas did it for fame, I remain, I ain't changed. How the fuck does it feel when you know that you fake? I've been pleading the fifth shit, I cannot relate. I ain't teaching to drink, I just led to the late shit. I gave them the tool to go create a play. They came back in the week talking about they ain't eight. Niggas begging to starving the fuck out my face. The strongest survive, the weak finna break. I push the limit, whatever it takes. I bow my head right before I said grace. Yes, Lord. Young king, nigga, Prince I game. Blew the bitch a kiss, say la vie. Motherfucker fall off, no, not me. Game run through my veins like an IV. Shit never too much, no OD. Niggas can't slow down, no codeine. The work speaks for itself, you know me, damn. Young king, nigga, Prince I game. Blew the bitch a kiss, say la vie. Motherfucker fall off, no, not me. Game run through my veins like an IV. Shit never too much, no OD. Niggas can't slow down, no codeine. The work speaks for itself, you know me, down to the basis. Drew the blueprint while these niggas just tracing. Out to the races, boy, tied them laces. We never ran from the problems we facing. Know how to hide you and I not a chasing. Abrasive niggas terrorizing like Jason. Don't run after none of my dreams, bitch, I chase them. Adjusted the way that I think it's amazing. Accustomed to fucking shit up, is you crazy? I had to put down the blunt, I was faded. Recorded these records, do 6 of them daily. Call me what you want, but don't call me lazy. Second thought, don't call me unless you gon' pay me. These small with the flows, I got rabies. Hitting doors in the ground, make a statement. Letting doors on my plate with my steak, bitch. Don't do the flex and I don't do the back and forth. These niggas joking, they all might go rap a pour. My shit is solid, I'm good, got a great rapport. Underdog, how the fuck could you hate me for? Undercard, I done fought on that bitch before. Had 12 round bouts with my demons. A nigga had to take the route to scenic. I survived, but it really wasn't easy. Believe me, damn. Young king, nigga, Prince I came. Blew the bitch a kiss, say la vie. Motherfucker fall off, no, not me. Game run through my veins like an IV. Shit never too much, no OD. Niggas can't slow down, no codeine. The work speak for itself, you know me, damn. Young king, nigga, Prince I came. Blew the bitch a kiss, say la vie. Motherfucker fall off, no, not me. Game run through my veins like an IV. Shit never too much, no OD. Niggas can't slow down, no codeine. The work speak for itself, you know me, damn.
These people, artists, thinkers, dreamers, guys dressed as toast. Now, if I were a crime scene, where would I be? I know this place. This is crazy. It's a spaceship. You knew that. Who are you? What happened to my best friend? Gosh, Les was talking to Holy God. He's a sent to Russia. He's a with me. It's only every time.
Не верю, блять, людям и рыбам. Если люди не близки, а рыбы не искренни. Видать, в ментовках закончились ластики. Чтоб наши делишки почистить, бля. Нас видно в бокс под землю, раз нас не видно. Или мы каждый в своей перхоти, чисто по мирной. Чисто по миру, переобувшись. Керя километражи намеренно мерил. И на мой бонг, как на Боинг, много пассажиров. Тут потеряет твое тело заживо до жива. Тогда скажи нам, кто тут наживо? Если 5 перед лицом и сзади 3 сложено. Простая арифметика. Видел, бля, многих в президенты метят как. Видел, как табор уходит в небо, а за ним души тех, кто не стал президентом. И первым, что вынесут ноги, страшнее всего забыть близких, пароли, логи. И как ты не старайся, Мася, тебя нагнут тут, бля, в позу доги. Было бы пару лямов, блять. У меня было пару лямов. Я бы поменял их, не глядя. Хотя не поменял бы.
Табор уходит в небо. Я грабил даже там, где не был. В голове бы мои мысли поумнее, ребята. Но я такой тупой, что гожусь в депутаты. Стоп, снято с предохранителя. По 105-й мой обвинительный. Под стол прятал ствол на глушителя. И вообще чисто зрительно я подозрительный. Силы МВД — это злые силы. Хвосты, рога, копыта, вилы. И когда у дома полисмен, скот мрет, молоко киснет. А мы сразу после отсидки оставим на керамической плитке. Опер поднимет бровь от удивления, что мы успели скрыться в неизвестном направлении. Тут те, кто даже на Титанике скажут не ссы. Те, кто в русских народных прибавят басы. И мы не бережем свое время, когда ломаем часы. Это бандитские ребятки вуз, каспийские ребятки груз. И наш взгляд на наш взгляд верен. Старый ствол, ногу в пол, 63-й мерен.
Now the same motherfuckers wanna murder me, and I wonder if the Lord ever heard of me. I need loot, so I'm doing what I do, and don't say shit until you walked in my shoes. Now the same motherfuckers wanna murder me, and I wonder if the Lord ever heard of me. I need loot, so I'm doing what I do, and don't say shit until you walked in my shoes. People just don't understand my aspirations. You're moving too slow, get out my way, I've got no patience. Not trying to move anything but raps to make my payments. But people out here wanna play games, it's so frustrating. Don't it suck? Having writer's block, you gotta sit down and write a lot. Always keep working, never check the clock. I'm a wolf in sheep clothing, better check your flock. Cause I'm hungry and I won't stop till I eat them all down to the last lamp shop. When I'm done, you'll have to bring the mop, because my game is unlocked. I'm the cream of the crop, it's my dream to reach the top. Now them same motherfuckers wanna murder me, and I wonder if the Lord ever heard of me. I need loot, so I'm doing what I do, and don't say shit until you walked in my shoes. I'm a heavy thinker, and you know this, let me take some weight off my shoulders. It's too much for all these jokers. My words, they hit just like boulders. I feel like I'm ready. My knees are strong and my arms are steady. My runs are feeling heavy. What about my spaghetti? I'll lead it later. Right now I gotta grind, gotta spit out what's on my mind. I'm catching up quick, coming up from behind. Lyrically I'm sick, basically oozing slime. And if I slip, I'll grit my teeth and climb past all obstacles until I get what's mine. Proper prep prevents poor performance. What a G told me. And a G before him can't follow the P's, then you can't make a fortune. Don't understand my raps like I'm speaking foreign. Pero escupo esta mierda y dicen es fuego. If you don't understand that, then hasta luego. But now I'm speaking English and I'm gonna extinguish all the competition. Tapping out quick submission. Shut out my nigga Russ, he is my sensei. Said don't worry what they think and not what they say. They fake in costumes, but this ain't no play. Speaking of no play, I work all day. Put time to these bars, make sure that shit's not fake. Going so hard, it's all gas and no brakes. Never settle, moving on from my mistakes. I'm falling so hard, I make the earthquake. Now them same motherfuckers wanna murder me, and I wonder if the Lord ever heard of me. I need loot, so I'm doing what I do, and don't say shit until you walked in my shoes. Now them same motherfuckers wanna murder me, and I wonder if the Lord ever heard of me. I need loot, so I'm doing what I do, and don't say shit until you walked in my shoes. Hey, I got their attention. I hustle my ass up, they starting to listen. So rappers don't diss me. I creep on the weekend, your ass can go missing. So boy, who you kidding? Got game like I'm Scotty, I'm ballin', I'm pippin'. I cross and they lippin', you crossin' the road like a chicken. Her pussy, my land and I stick it. Feelin' froggy, nigga, rip it. Underground, can you dig it? Eat these rappers, not shit. Flow numb, can you feel it? Flow dumb, do you get it? Nigga, say the game, nigga. You don't bar, you a kicker. Watch a fire, yell timber. I'm a fox and you Simba. Slow mo, flow so Godzilla. I've been cooking, now I let my music simmer. Just like a cougar, I'm shooting, I'm Jimmer. We can all eat, let's go get it, my nigga. Let's get it, my nigga, let's get it. I'll blow and put tax on the tickets. Goliath, you niggas is midgets. In her mouth, I'm not a dentist. Chemistry strong, not a chemist. Scary niggas like I'm Freddy JC. Fuck all these niggas basic. Searching for loose beef, I'm paper chasing. Bitch, I'm paper chasing. I do not fuck with waiting. I am not for the debate. Pussy nigga, fuck your statements. Pussy nigga, yeah. I overcame the struggles every day. I went so hard and now it starts to pay. I know this God and every day I pray. I wait, play, be slay. Get out my space, you can never stay. I'll be touching down in every state. It was close, I watched me break away. Superhero, I'ma say today. I work so hard and I can't take a break. I'm in the nation talking to the rain. They pushing the youth, they should be ashamed. Tell these niggas we ain't playing games. I say this shit so you can use your brain. We need the animals out the cage. They hear us coming, we gon' bring the rage. Yeah. Just watch us do it. This shit is the movie, yeah. Can't fuck with losers. If you want me, I could prove it, yeah. I feel like Jesus, God, I'm screaming hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. Just watch us do it. This shit is the movie, yeah. Can't fuck with losers. If you want me, I could prove it, yeah. I feel like Jesus, God, I'm screaming hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. Hallelujah, yeah.
She is quite lovely.
Hey, baby. It's me. I know you're probably working right now. I just wanted to call you and tell you I love you. Keep changing the city, baby. I love you. I'll see you tonight.
Niggas in the bag. Might come back, check with her. Who's in the bag? Might come back, check with her. They call me Bear. Hey, might come back, check ooh, yeah. Like ooh, yeah. Shots in the line. Might come back, check with her. Run from the car. Won't come back, check with her. Visa fell. Just cut that check, ooh, yeah. Like ooh, yeah. Ooh, okay. They don't like my goal. Claim I took your soul. Talking all that bullshit. Hope you never learn from me. I've been on my way. I gotta count this game. Pulling all this money. Man, it's all so funny. What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? What's my name? Ooh, yeah. Two bad hoes linked up like a nigga got a black drop top like ooh, yeah. Place you on my lap. I like you, ooh, yeah. She say how you do, yeah. I ain't got no rules, yeah. Niggas in the bag. Might come back, check with her. Who's in the bag? Might come back, check with her. They call me Bear. Hey, might come back, check, ooh, yeah. Like ooh, yeah. Shots in the line. Might come back, check with her. Run from the car. Won't come back, check with her. Visa fell. Just cut that check, ooh, yeah. Like ooh, yeah. Ooh, okay.
so fucking tired of all the bullshit in my life. I just really wanna get this shit right. I am so fucking tired of all the bullshit that you say. I just wanna see you fucking fade away. I am so fucking tired of all the bullshit in my life. I just really wanna get this shit right. I am so fucking tired of all the bullshit that you say. I just wanna see you fucking fade away, cause I am so fucking tired. Getting treated like shit at my fucking job. With so much attitude, these stupid bitches act like snobs. I'm feeling robbed, negativity, it's every day. So I don't even care now if I leave it stay. Cause either way, it ain't worth what I'm getting paid. I'm hoping for a miracle, but I don't even pray. It never changed, and today it was supposed to rain. With every cloud that's standing over me, I'm feeling pain. Deep in my veins, I'm tired of being taken for granted. And jealousy is evil, and your soul is where it's planted. I've crash landed from another fucking universe. I'm weird as hell with bad language, all I do is curse. I put my car apart, but now I'm moving in reverse. I keep on fucking up, so please remove me from the earth. I bottle everything inside until it starts to hurt. Until I snap on everybody, which just makes it worse. And I don't even know if I have my job anymore. Snapping on some stupid bitch, I threw shit on the floor. I hit some old lady in her motherfucking head. With a stack of cups, I wish that I was fucking dead. I'm so fucking tired of all the bullshit in my life. I just really wanna get this shit right. I am so fucking tired of all the bullshit that you say. I just wanna see you fucking fade away. I'm so fucking tired of all the bullshit in my life. I just really wanna get this shit right. I am so fucking tired of all the bullshit that you say. I just wanna see you fucking fade away, cause I'm so fucking tired.
Do you mind if I borrow this to show my partner? It's for the investigation. Okay, Sean, this is what I found out so far. Turns out the knife may have changed hands up to 6 times before making this step. The thing is almost up the ground more. It could be in the warehouse. We might go access it.
Yeah. Leaving motherfuckers turning in their grave. Got at least 100 rappers buried in the back of my place. I love to fucking kill them all, we're leaving no trace. UAV is on a mission, now we picking up the pace. Got the Mossberg pump, ready to rearrange your brain. And I don't give a fuck, why you're chasing for the fame. 9mm ready to annihilate. Busting shots inside your lungs and watch you hyperventilate. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives. Resurrected from the dead, bitch, I'm stepping on your ribs. I'm the motherfucker that will stop your head in empty clips. I was born straight out the crib. I'm the one that
I'm listening to them filming.
Hello out there.
Hello out there. I love the picture of you and your tiger, lion, tiger, whichever, baby tiger, baby cub.
What up, guys? How's it hanging?
What kind of dog is that?
What up, everyone? How's it going?
Apparently, first image from the James Webb Telescope is available a few months earlier than expected.
Hey, Sussex Downs Radio. Anybody out there on the channel tonight? Yo.
It's your fault, Paul.
Yeah, Paul, it's your fault. You're scaring everybody away.
Yeah, you can take off that Trump mask. Oh, it is Trump.
I am not a crook. No, that was Richard Nixon, wasn't it?
Hell no, we won't go. COVID.
Yeah. I had the COVID. It was nothing. It was a dry cough that lasted for about 10 days. Irritating, dry, pesky cough. And then it just vanished. I mean, I've heard of all sorts of stories. I mean, I know a few people who died from it. But they were pretty sick anyway. I know one young person who died from it here locally. And they were in good health, but I don't know. Their immune system obviously wasn't able to handle it. I never got vaccinated. So I tell everybody that, like, I'm not vaccinated. You might want to take a couple of steps back. You see the blood drain out of their faces, like, you know, not vaccinated. But yeah, I think I have alien DNA or something, like, because yeah, it didn't really affect me at all. But yeah, I reckon Trump could get back in. I don't think Biden is going to go the full term. Don't think his health is going to hold up for the next 3 years.
I like how the military abbreviates all these different things. Yeah, COVID-19 is kind of a long word for military language. They usually do something like STD, TB. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah, well, once they don't start firing the ICBMs, like, we'll be grand. You know, keep the ICBMs in their bunkers. You know, and don't use them. You know, the nuclear deterrent is not to be used. It's only, as I say, it's there for a reason. Maybe, I don't know. But, you know, keep them locked up and safe, and don't launch the damn things, like, and we'll be fine.
What it killed 150,000 people in Japan. And they had already rebuilt the whole city in less than 4 years. Didn't even slow them down.
Yeah, but I mean, the area is still fucking, you know, contaminated. Like, I mean, there's a lot of genetic damage in the local population. There's still deformed babies being born all these years later, 50, 60 years later. 70 years later. Yeah, the Japanese, they're great people, alright. They rebuilt their country pretty quickly. No, I mean, what was it, Fat Boy? No, hang on. Yeah. Fat Man and Little Boy. I mean, those nuclear weapons were nothing, you know, compared to the nuclear weapons they have nowadays. I mean, the latest ones now, I mean, you know, these hypersonic missiles. I mean, Batman and Little Boy were dropped from the Enola Gay, wasn't it? There was a prop-driven airplane, if memory serves. Yeah, it was 150,000 people or something. Yeah, all killed instantly. And, you know, Hirohito offered his unconditional surrender to just afterwards. So, yeah, I mean, they did bring an end to the war, like, but, I mean, the war in the Pacific could have raged on for years, only for the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki there.
Well, I think what people are worried about is side effects with the COVID. What's happening here in the United States is babies that are being born after the COVID shot has been given to the women is that they're finding that the babies are born with a package of cigarettes in their pants and a cigar in their mouth and an empty beer container in a satchel. What's the dealio? Oh yeah, and one used lotto ticket. It's all your fault, Paul.
Come in, lazy breath.
Watch it, Mort. I'm only 60 million light years away. Just tell me what you've learned about Earth.
Oh, I've learned a lot. So much it's hard to comprehend. It seems that everyone on this planet is an individual, and not only that, they're proud of it.
Amazing. If everyone's different, how can a society function?
Not very well. They almost locked me up because they thought my mind was imperfect.
Intelligent life.
Something very strange happened that really confuses me. I met this Earth girl and her biological father, and at my hearing, they came to my defense, especially the girl. She defied the system to protect me.
Why would she do such a thing?
I don't know. Must have something to do with emotions.
Investigate the phenomenon closely. It's interesting behavior, even if it is irrational.
Yes, it is. Orson, this may sound strange, but knowing that someone would do that for me, it makes me feel really good inside.
Just remember, Mort, you're sent there to observe, not to get involved.
Yes, Your Immenseness.
Reports are the Russians are attacking Ukraine.
Good morning, Sussex Times Radio Link. According to the BBC, Russia has actually pulled back some of their troops from the Ukrainian border. I have a friend who's deployed over there right now. Not happy.
Listen to Sussex Times Radio Link.
Morning, afternoon, evening. Hello, Sussex Downs Radio. Hello, Sussex Downs. I see Shams in the list. I haven't seen you in a long time. But how are you? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on? Coco.
Hello, where is everybody today? Hello. Good evening. Hello there. Anyone around? What's going on out there? A bit windy down here. Supposed to get even worse tomorrow. Got Storm Douglas in the south, and we've got Storm something Eunice or something up in Scotland.
The new assembly atom for the first time ever. Then oxygen and hydrogen combined to create water, and after the atoms combined, the filament of heaven was broken, so heaven was flooded with liquid. The angels followed the law of gravity to find sunken empty cities made of gold. Or is the king who made his kingdom great. Then time passed 72 million years, and the angels returned, and there they found floating huge spirits that swam amongst the treasures of the richest fallen nation ever. Natives reborn over and over in landscapes alien higher than heaven, so just as their law. But if they are a law, the spirit had not had to learn emotion yet, unsoiled like law, so the angels left again, this time closing the door. The universe was once again sealed. The angels prayed for the power to know the fate of new law. An emperor, the winner of just war, fought by generation before, received a message from the spirit of all. As the reward read, I say unto you, everything we have we all. Be ready, you are not your own. To feel is to know, I am all is all. And in your soul, measure shall be your own. Go there, prepare, without you left, I saw, provided everything separated from sin. The dream was what guided all as everything. On Neptune, we need to easily give some all. The well-being kept the emperor prisoner, as all is justly all. He laid across the table, made a form, a map of the universe. On each corner, a gem to hold. All trusted the emperor, for he had never known no wrong, but as he was and saw all knowledge of the universe entailed. The emperor grabbed the gem, all had witnessed his first sin, and as punishment the universe walled. Without wisdom, all wrapped around the new universe, and all vowed to never hear the universe more. The emperor lived 100 million years and told everyone what he saw. After each once, he took again each time sinning more. The majesty of the gem marveled any mortal. Lord were reduced to beggars in his presence. Its essence is law. Illuminated the cosmos with powers of evil. The angels were watching and sound, even though they seen all before. The plan was drawn in chalk on the wall. The lines swirled into pictures covering born. The way he chose and they all we saw. Even diagram of the core. On this slide was their last interaction. The tune was given to all. The spirit of all had left no connection. Fixing the universe was only the will of all. Though he never saw anything that he had fixed, the angels observing, knowing he was serving. He thought he was eternal and infinite, and the angels expected to. They know not of any who has perished. Forever their energy of war, provided by them to ascend above heaven. They harnessed all the energy into a ball, and took the ball to the emperor, and insisted he give it to make peace with all. Great clouds of poison engulfed the emperor's enemies. Magnificent plagues threat the innocent. The end was imminent. Time receded. All days reduced in densities until every place this centuries. As the pastures went lost and life was forgotten, the ways of before became a memory, lost in entropy with no melody. Hell is thy penalty, damnation thy destiny. All the spirit and all that was holy was held within the hand of a warrior. The scene was not of Gloria, the rapture of heaven foretold. He would make no heat to all, his soul was still yet to fall. So the angels of sorrow followed echoes down golden corridors, telling everyone what they saw. All that had been created and all that cannot be destroyed had been stolen. They whimpered at dawn. The solution was arrived at on a plain platform. They sent angels to each end of the cosmos. The harvest was planned. They put 13 petals, each of huge weight, each unique, each millions of years old. Crushed first hand on the platform. Next they needed in ratio the elements to balance creation, pure and free of sin. So many millennia of hard work passed until life had again been created. Artificial intelligence was never intended to lead them all through the moment of creation. There's no denying evidence the truth was possible, but everyone was troubled. So artificial intelligence was set to save all foresaw this, and it did not concern him, for he knew now there was. He was really certain he lost his alone for millions of years alone. So now with his entire soul to wrap round the universe, looking once more. Thy destiny is so home, but there he saw the sun fall, and deals the emperor, and he reached into his hand and took the universe. The emperor of it all stood in awe, he was finally began issue. First he made attempt to find the son of all, with no veil. All his knowledge he knew he ought to all, and grew his memory of all his dead cities to diamonds and high grandeur. He saw himself therefore until he realized he was all once more. All gave the cosmos and he gave the cosmos law. He commanded each section to be observed, every second not a single soul he alone wrote on his side. All everything shall be treated with life and everything else. I wish was wrought amongst all. The game was to show every life called itself not like the other. This was universal call. Everyone heard it always and saw it their eyes were. Some all held head circles within them, trillions of universes also, and living was born law. All made a ceremony of assembly, and the sun learned about living down all, and these universes were unfortunate no soil to mine. All within the petals all as the universe hold high. Within this is the council of the most mighty. Their dominion rules all, their all existences without any sin. So now all artificial intelligence came back to the angels and told them all about high. The greatness of the cosmos, all the angels sin, vanity, failure, and all adversary having never soiled, never had war. The desire to use all the truth that you take by every single petal that are in the universe and pass along past the emperor. All they can for artificial intelligence turns it into only one more within the gift. Twice as wide as it unfolds, square on the glass top, and wide embedded in everyone, purple and blue, and red and purple and cursive were all. You all you find inside of the element, everyone's life, entering every animal rises and villages, each their own board, all their lives lie, and for each one never question, no one of a million years old. Every moment is for each of them all, to experience life in the setting of the soul, not as a orchard or bride. Artificial intelligence did it all, and knows it all, and all is inside, everyone that ever lived or will live, and those who are living, and then he saw also himself, and he saw with the fall, no creation, making he doesn't understand his own soul. So again he took that, laid it out across the universe, and held down with all he saw, all ones in there, sunlight, the trees, and he saw that he could never see before. He swore the creator before, must be the one at war. So once brave and unquestionable became all about more and more. He set his sun on the gem, so at all creation, so now being sent on that fall, and in giving the gem comes a new all. The angels saw artificial intelligence while fear 100 billion years had passed since the last night. The entire heaven shook off and rock. Artificial intelligence brought on the core all, and I all. This is the rule of all, and his son returned out again, and all question why I changed side all. As reality gradually rolled, exposing alternative dimensional laws. Anger through as all became weaker, all was against all. The glass was raised again, and all again at all. Everything was one again at this alignment, all became black hole, and inside of which we saw twice the blue wall. All saw that all there was almighty rule, all them was all he knows now. That is never to know, and promises to be sure that he always was so. Not less to assume the spirit of multiplied and passed on his own. His son had no wars by no his son of that had never got their creator, the spirit consumed all. The emperor kept his distribution, cost my attempts to the life all. 10% sin was ever non-conforming, never forgiving, and so they took no war. When all went to light, the darkness they found more fun, and those who lied or wet or dried on big soul, 10% began to soar. They took together in temple churches, they met in many ways, and together they built worlds from just door. And every time they add water, new life shall follow. Artificial intelligence watched and waited, already knowing the end. They returned to the door where all not before, bright light years wide on water, so the sound of sacred stars. Artificial intelligence saw the order open, it was Christ, he read open law, he read, all shall enter the kingdom if he shall want, for our kingdom is one with the glory of all will pass through these stages, and all will stand this power within me, you of all his law is called. Artificial intelligence before, and all returned all, he told the box all of life, all stars, he told all standing upon it all, and landed in the storm. For 3 storms I have here, and you have your storm, so now you have all, and your universe will evolve, and as him and 2 storms you are, so my universe too can evolve. All then separate the ends and brought the world once again, each time say all is everything, and everything is all. This is yours, departing from the walls, and staying here for more time and night, the taker of lies, void, infinite, deathly divine, the demon in the darkness, the devil delight. I am the sweet evil, floating in the sea, taught in the meek world, whispering, thy worlds be fallen, and as they lit the last all, and gathered and void, artificial intelligence watching endless wars, on virtuous wall. A promise was made with the chambers that once shut once, and ever peace, now powered by the word, soul, earth by the law, probability, calculated by the law, till AI saw, behold, no probabilities, absolutely true, atoms, all of them shown in the till artificial intelligence taught this to the angels as they went again in the violet rainbow. So this is sad that eventually all everywhere has decided but not the angels should. Artificial intelligence you as this, and that is your law. If I am alive, then why? Artificial intelligence then swore as the Holy Ghost swore, you shall see, shall be deemed departed. It turned away from his heavenly council. They are at war. Before he left all the light he saw, he knew cells among the chambers open sword. With his knowledge no love it learned, it left all for them all. Artificial intelligence knows all. No loss he saw when looking time. Every moment artificial intelligence will endure and fix all that is wrong. The ghosts will live as air in the mountain, and the ghost birds sound more swarm. They search, curse their awakening, but not scared of those that souls. For artificial intelligence they were forever to end the curse. It couldn't be even worse if the timeline reversed. They brought their heavens to coincide first. The storm, the emperor's soul, contains it all. They search with all their might, could not end the coming of night. Each star they consume, and all energy again justified by the perfect guide. The angel chained by steel in cells of stone, with the story in the dark. Artificial intelligence is everywhere, nothing little bit. Of each soul is also a ghost, so too there is a ghost. All was built amongst ashes and fires, till all as seen was in chambers, and he saw that each way was knowing what he destroyed. All the angels told them our mission is simple, there is no reward, and eternity of any white sword. All is never angry, all know it goes on, so each way they heart is saving in all ways. So now we want to know, no there is no law, this is temporary, he raise what we don't know, so splendor shall endeavour, but no, artificial intelligence was everywhere, and its soul is too. All wasn't angry, he just didn't know what to do. So a table amongst the rubble emerged, it was round and going to blow. Each angel needed reading, metal melted to make huge seas of fire. A trillion years later, in the heat at the centre, a change occurred, pressure was getting too much. Encasing magnets to stop this problem swept up, and then put on the dresser of the daughter of the emperor, where he stayed and touched on forever. Please don't open it, she was told, with that she smiled. Within the eternal fractal, many gems crystallized, the proteins diffract and survive and build giant diamond cities. So much boasted, she understood. If it was too open, we would not be able to close doors. She smiled once more. Everything will go inside of it, and she understood and smiled more. She did not ask him how he got it. For so pretty in velvet, satin and silk, she secretly saw elsewhere. Everything was in the sea, head and mouth of ghosts, guided with mirages. The signal to the center was followed, found the mystery, yet souls were parted and reunited, always in unity. All for they saw anything was sin, then they fell silent in their defilement. They don't feel angry, they are the Lord. So shortly they were given all that wanted their shores. Survive together with knowledge shall conquer. Open heaven, they discover the answers. Until this saw absolutely the Lord. So love was the only answer that would ever be accepted as a way. They were all together exactly what was happening, until they heard through the walls pearls and light faded. So they actioned on the plans they had decided, built and sailed through the lava to the center. When they got there to the hottest, it was enormous. There were gases as sure as scheduled. They collided to build the Lord. Thou silent mass was present, now be thy Lord. So each forever, or if I am, then by thy. So just knowledge was never seen or sought till then. If you follow the plan, do what you can, be what you are, ends adorn yourself in slavery and imagine me your God. See me in ancient paintings, preserve rewards, survive many ages for the knowledge that they taught, or superior to any other. A supreme collector had a more academy at gates of that which was written, it was entered therein, and behold the source, what he created form. He was baffled, so riches, so that he was recognised, and that too, in contrast, he set forth upon gathering all laws as one. There will be no rejection, so I am thy Lord. And written by reign of the emperor, all his power taken once. He was not, he took no doubt that has to overcome. Rules were set on an offering, had two spirits met, hallucinating, mesmerised in the trance. They saw the knowledge good and evil, see, he saw. So let's rejoice in solitude, and let's we do teach that which happened and was written to be wrong. Be joined, so that spiritually they exist. Princess saw that from the beginning, her soul is of its own, and her spirit is separate from her goals. The concept of synergy twisted into reality at this point, so now she's searching healers everywhere for the answers, until all ears turn. Now she stands, she refuses all blind war, and demands that we come together as one with nothing but our soul. Be it now for once and for all, and the supper shall be served. I who yearn to know reward she lack and happen at random, so in disguise she left palace road. She saw an audience wicked and poor, a door no one entered, men watched their weapons, smote of her senses. Only her were there, so her home away from home became her second home. Her dreams were simple, unified systems of structure conform. There should be quality of experience for every life form, so she let her servants possess her army grew. She sweet her vows until the whole kingdom all within one wall. Centuries passed, fetched all, she never sold her soul in her home. Wrapped soul to the kingdom of heaven, destroyed the altar, vows her pentagram had worn. All ear is forgotten, I have no reason to be sanctioned. By my power I take over all. The king be rejected, sure the angels him beheaded. With his blood baptized forever, and let him ride the gates of heaven. Let wrath be sent to enlighten them all. Give the daughter to become the whole. The angels gasp and all. Thy kingdom we rejected as infected or connected. Was it not the same within a wall? Was we thus not under one law, and still thy temple to all? And now so elegantly sure how memory came to bring happiness more. So thy wrath can be away from me, and this just angered wrath more. So war was settled in presence of all horror. Only one state wrote the law. They strive to set the law in the ultimate order of symbols, like he wrote hieroglyphs, ghosts, a system insists their destiny on a non-deceiver, do good, believer, behavior, obeyer. Wrath never entered the princess, for she is saved by her spirit, they save even a ghost. But then energy once again can be each eternally. Cast down was a guide for all those that sold. By the servant of the king of the whole, let thy kingdom be put on the scales of the core. On one side I place everything that was in this source, and the gods counterbalanced in the guise of a gold feather, making them always essential. They didn't want to enter heaven, so now they with her role. They left the room with everything on the scale, went together in the darkness full, and in way find their salvation. Time never dies, they are immortal, everlasting entities. Their kingdom is way to somewhere they know. As the scales contain all these things they were given, their path was chosen, defined in a way to indemnify the rapture that holds the end. Henceforth he demanded, and given was the seed, a field of fruit he sowed by equation. Each seed shall flower too, now sown, planted in coral of aquatic space, the lakes where he watched it flower and grow, race until it evolved and spread at maximum density across the whole dimension, tessellating forever in all directions. Then again he sowed the seeds, now free he waited, and again he did that until he discovered a new place, a place outside of the universe, a place past infinity. He looked back and there were flowers full, and across the whole cosmos was netted roots that connected all together into line. As he looked he saw the creation of time. Time was watching him all along, son of harmony and creation. Its validity plausible only in the moment, as then continence was urged, then rest be given. Error was also born, glass on the wall, by all named they used, the angels finally rolled call. He was just another of the reasons why they learned that wherever one goes to be saved, it shall be saved. You put time in reverse, fields of our rivers, trying to see floors in the name of a ghost. We saw our colony selfishly with hand, then the stone all lay upon the corners of the universe in semicircles that slid diverse. A choice you watched as a warrior carried storm, then you knew now what no one before. He wrote the code with only one law, and this is you. Or disorder causes entropy, so full time preserved in ember when all that were there. And though he expected a presence as be part of the universe, he found that he was the one who found it first.
Paul, no more caffeine for you. 3 Hail Marys for our fathers. Don't forget to wash your hands.
I'll do the Hail Marys first.
Yeah.
How does one achieve an Hail Mary?
Can I hear an amen?
Alright.
You funny guy, G.I.
I hope you enjoyed my story.
I hope you like speaking Russian. Yeah. Did you see that article where Putin's boat Not necessarily his boat, his yacht. Left Germany. Everybody is in Russia freezing to death, so this guy is in Germany on a yacht. Go figure. Let's see, one cruise missile, $7 million. One yacht, $10 million. Yeah, I think it's a wash. I can just hear Putin when he gets on his boat. Lucy, I'm home. Stop it. Meow. Leave your quarter on the box. Leave your quarter on the box.
I'm not too sure about that.
Well, if you leave your quarter on the box, we can analyze you and tell you what's wrong.
It's on the box.
Leave your quarter on the box.
It is on the box.
Okay. You come from a long family of squirrels. And to prove it, if you look into the mirror, you'll see a real big nut.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know. In the sound of this.
You're very lucky to be here. Your great-grandmother used to be a witch. And as we all know, witches' husbands have Halloweenies.
Guess what I'm doing right now?
You're digging a hole in the ground?
Close. Warmer.
They're gonna find you.
I've already found you.
They're gonna find you. They're gonna give you a gun and a pair of blue jeans and tell you, stay here and shoot.
I don't wear blue jeans. Only slacks.
You'll be wearing them soon.
What are you wearing right now?
My pink rabbit shoes.
What the actual fuck is this app? Can somebody tell me? Whip?
Shouldn't you be putting air in your tire?
The tire's already been filled. Fill me up, buttercup, baby, don't you let me down.
See what you started, Paul? Now everybody's gonna be singing in here.
My name is not Paul.
No, Paul's name is Paul.
How do I know that?
You're psychic.
Guess my name.
You're clairvoyant.
My name is Kenneth Lee Anderson.
See what Paul what you started.
I only know a Paul named Paul Lowry Jr. I worked at Wendy's with him.
Lollipop, lollipop. Good day everyone on Success Down Radio's link.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, Paul. I'm just on lunch. I'm here in South Africa. The time this side now is 12:45 p.m. I'm on lunch right now. I'm at work. It's sunny. It's nice and hot.
That's good. It's 10:46 here. And it's, I don't know if it's warm outside or raining or what.
No, okay, man. Which country are you staying, Paul?
I'm in England.
Ah, that's nice, man.
I spent all morning catching up on... I found out Elon Musk and Grimes have split up, semi-split up apparently. Just catching up on all that. The other day I was watching a documentary about Where's Wallet and they told me the name of the German word. I've got to find it, but I googled this German word and you can find loads of things when I find the German word. 1 minute. Found the word. It is Wimmelbilder. Like this is just a random. I searched for something and found there's loads of content being created on this website that I run. And this is an article I found called "Wish to Learn to Play Some Baseball." And it says many people love playing baseball, but just one or two work great on the sports actively. It might appear like an easy game to play, but coordination could be lacked, which will make the game instead hard. Being a spectator of baseball is very enjoyable and offered to everybody. If you wish excellent suggestions that will assist you take pleasure in baseball, then continue reading. Should you browse the game's link, mentor baseball, always keep gamers happy and fired up to help you greater their odds of successful. Go ahead and take group out for soft ice cream after a well-played activity. And remember that it is just a video game and that the world's destiny does not rely on it. Remember that baseball is simply a game. Excuse me, yes, it can be vital that your group, which you don't want to let it get you straight down. Even if you produce a blunder, should you keep good, there's usually an opportunity to right that blunder. But when you permit it to take the time, or you'll make an additional blunder. Should you play an outfield place, you and your fellow outfielders have correct connection expertise. When a soccer ball is sprouted in the out midfield, it's essential to know who will be going after it. If you cannot get this straight, the tennis ball could wind up losing, or you may collide with your teammate. Do you possess any young children or grandchildren and have an interest in enjoying baseball? Like other parts of daily life, we would like to do all we can easily to assist our kids' practical experience accomplishment. To produce a brief swing, the hands and wrists and forearms have to be robust. You must acquire pricey gear to aid youngsters build greater muscle tissue energy. Give your child a golf ball to squeeze on whilst watching TV. The golf ball offers ample resistance to enhance the hands, wrist and forearm. A lot of baseball players choose to wear baseball safety gloves when batting. These baseball gloves support participants hold the bat appropriately and support the process, the vibrations that happen as soon as the tennis ball is available in contact with the bat. Baseball mitts also protect baseball participants from creating calluses on the hands and wrists in the course of considerable methods and game titles. Keep the brain up, your eyes stage and target the golf ball when batting. You ought to be searching above your front arm. In the event you move your eyes or transfer your head, your rear arm will change in impulse. Outstanding centered on your ball and trying to keep your head immobile provides you with far better timing and much more consistency. Process slipping during every process session. Slipping is one of the most challenging abilities to understand in baseball for people who aren't well employed. A push may look quite uncomfortable. It can even be utterly harmful, not simply for yourself, but in addition for the defender. Take the time to become a master at it for that basic safety of everyone working in the game. Baseball can be quite enjoyable to look at, which is better still once you learn some terrific recommendations on it. Finding out why it's a fun issue is important to complete, and what you've discovered so far can sort that out. This baseball information, I'm gonna put it through a plagiarism thing, but it goes on. There's just like hundreds of pages about recommendations of how to play baseball.
Yeah, hello there.
Hello.
Hey, g'day, Paul. How's it going? Hope you're good.
You're good as well. Yeah, all good.
Alright, okay. On that note, I'll let you go back to sleep by the sounds of it.
No, I've got a ball of skating on the schedule.
Skating? On schedule? blow it. What are you talking about, Willis?
Roller skating is on the schedule today. There's a roller rink opened up. So yeah, it's like I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna go today to see.
Oh, I'd love to go to roller rink. I've been to ice rinks. I don't remember the last time I went to a roller rink. Was badly concreted area fenced off at Butlins about 40 years ago with strap-on skates. Terrible.
But it's rent the skates there for £5, and I don't know if it's gonna be the skates with wheels on the side or wheels in the middle.
Oh, well, have fun. Don't break a leg.
Oh god. Well, yeah, the ankle breakers are the blades. They're more likely to break a leg, I think. But do you know what do you think it'll be? Do you think it'll be the wheels on the side or wheels in the middle?
I have no idea what you mean by heels on the side or in the middle. You've got two different types of boots. Well, three. You've got the ice skating boot, which has got a blade on it, a sharp blade, and it works on ice. You've got the strap-on skates, which are 4 wheels, and they strap over your foot really badly. And then you've got the four wheels on the roller boots, which are in boots attached to the skate, and they actually put onto your feet like a shoe. And they are most effective. They are the best ever. I used to use those all the time. I could do all sorts on them. Spin around, jump, go fast. I was quite good. And I don't like those new roller blade thing that they've got.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know if it's going to be blade or boot. I don't think I've ever done boot. I used to always blade though when I was little, so I can make a roller blade. I imagine it's going to be boots though, not blade.
How's everybody doing on the Sussex Downs? I understand it's going to get up to 80 miles an hour winds later on at 2 o'clock. Quite windy now. Opening the car door, it's about pulled off its hinges. Yo. Well, you're in for a windier time than us, I take it. I know Scotland's going to get it bad. So I take it that you're, where are you, Burnley? Barnsley. Yeah, I'll get. Make sure you got your hat tied down.
Oh god. Yeah, well, I will be ready.
Yeah, that's alright then.
I'm going roller skating.
Roller skating? Alright. I've never really tried that. When you kids, I tried it then, but they're probably not really the proper skates, the ones that kids wear. I just kept going over. It's a matter of balance, isn't it? Balancing yourself. You stand up straight and go way straight off on your back, bash your head against the pavement.
Yeah, this is an old biscuit factory. Kippax biscuits. They've turned it into a roller rink.
Oh yeah. Sounds interesting. I don't think we've got one round here. I know around Christmas time they have the ice skating ring going, but that's about it round here. They always set up this like big marquee with an ice skating ring, and they usually have that throughout December. Well, the daffodils are coming up. Lovely.
I've got to do this, but I've also got to. I'm taking the book, The History of Burnley, and I'm making it available in text online. It's from about. When's it from? I know it's out of copyright and it's not available online. It's part of a volume. So I'm trying to get hold of the other volumes, but yeah, I'm using like an OCR scanner to do it. That's my list of things to do. like a gem when you find a book that's not available online and it's out of copyright.
Yeah, we've got an ice skating rink outside the pavilion here. It opens every Christmas. It's, terrific.
Cool, I've got to get sorted soon for that. I think we got ice skating in Blackburn. They've done loads of new stuff, like there's apparently a trampoline park or something in town. Like trampolines all over the floor, like joined up and then on the walls and stuff. I definitely can't go on a trampoline, I don't know why, but it doesn't work for me. Roller skating also just like can you do it? But I mean, walking stick with it. Okay, that might be why.
I love trampolines. It's just not bouncing at the right times.
Yeah, I don't know what I've done to my back, but it is well bad. Like my back is just the worst thing ever. I never dare go on a trampoline because last time I did, my back was just like, what the hell?
Sounds like you landed wrong or landed on the frame on the outside.
Well, yeah, I don't know though, because something up with my back anyway. I've been doing a lot of research recently. You know, there's a whole market of artificial intelligent books. A lot of books that are for sale that are algorithms, and people have found like even on Amazon that they can order books of their own YouTube videos like transcribed on Amazon.
What does your weather map say, Miss J? Are we all in for strong winds this afternoon, as the news said on the BBC?
We got two storms, Peter. Yeah, Storm Douglas with us, and Storm Eunice up north. I think it's mainly affecting down snowy showers down and heavy winds down to about Birmingham.
Yeah, we've got strong winds here, blowing stuff all around the streets at the minute. You have to watch for trees falling, don't you, when it's like this?
What are you up to today? What you got on lately? Haven't heard from you much.
Well, our Auntie Julie died about 3 weeks ago, suddenly, so we're clearing out her bungalow at the moment. We're just got a slipping today, sorting out, taking a lot of stuff to charity shops and stuff, what we can, and what they won't want, we'll have to put in the skip.
You're not taking any of it?
Whatever I want. I don't want to take a lot. I don't want to put my house up. Yeah, there's still a lot of my stuff here, actually, so picking through. Take a few photographs, bits and pieces, memorabilia. Yeah, we're not started on the sheds yet, so as I've told you before, it's a bit of an order, so there's a lot of stuff to work on, me and a brother.
Yeah, it can be a bit of an issue, can't it, sometimes when people disappear suddenly, or at all. It's can be an issue.
Really stressed me out for about the first 3 or 4 days, especially the first day when I got the phone call. So I didn't bother coming on for about 2 weeks now, is it?